second. Good morning to you. Welcome to Sewing Quarter. I'm Natasha McCarty. I'm back. I've been at the Great British Sewing Bee Live, which has been absolutely amazing. Thank you everyone who came to see us on the live demo theatre. Absolutely incredible. So much talent there. But the talent doesn't stop today because, you know, Lucy Brennan's here and you know what? She's brought us a right pair. Let's see what we've got coming up today. Tools and techniques is what we've got today. Oh, yeah. Under £10 selection at 8 a.m. Stocking fillers galore, quite frankly, this morning. Then 9 a.m. is the Ripples quilt, which you'll see behind me. It is gorgeous. Then 10 a.m. we're talking finishing touches. Oh, yes. And then 11 a.m. it is... It's that pear. It's looking a bit pear-shaped. It's that pear cushion at 11 a.m. That's what we've got coming up today. Get your pear-tastic puns ready. Right, we have got a text to win competition. It's not really a competition because you just got to text in order to win. 1 entry per person. This is running... Well, here we go. It's to win an Elna 240EX sewing machine. All T's and C's are on the website, so take a look at that. It should cost no more than your standard network rate, over 18s only, but text SEW to 66777 and check out those T's and C's. Okay, now, starting today at a faster pace, producer Paul's been on a stag do, so we're going to wake him up with this morning. Now, happily... these haven't been on for ages, but they are back. You know the little iPad tablety stand things that I do? These make a fabulous filling for it. So what it is, you don't get the jar, we've found that, but you do get the pellets. So these are heavy grey pellets. You get a kilo of them for £6.95. These sold out in minutes last time. Literally a minute. Literally a minute. This is how they look. You don't get the glass jar. That's just so that we can... it's really quite therapeutic. We've all had our hand in the jar this morning. £6.95 for the heavy grey plastic pellets, 1 kilo thereof. Fabulous. So pop them in your door stoppers, pop them in your tablet stands, pop them wherever you like. That means actually if you've got your plastic pellets, then it means that, you know, some people don't like using rice and stuff, do they, in door stoppers and things. There's that weevil thing. No weevils here, let me tell you, just plastic pellets. Everybody's put them on it. Well, I say everybody, it might be a small exaggeration, but a lot of you have got them in your baskets this morning. Please check out your baskets, do not miss out. This is about fast and furious this morning and making the most of that £2.95 P&P per day. Yes, it's done per day. If you're not aware of our P&P, it's brilliant. It's calculated. We add up everything that you've spent throughout the day, the number of times you've checked out. Check out as many times as you like. We will only apply the P&P at midnight. So there's only one charge of P&P per day, which is just £2.95, which means that if we've got an under £10 selection, fill your boots, you're only paying 1 P&P. And having been in London for a bit, I can tell you that's a lot less than a parking ticket. Now, next up, we have got fray check. So, those delicate fabrics that we love to work with, but quite frankly, we're a little bit worried to work with because they fray, and then you worry, or maybe like me, you don't quite cut your squares out for your patchwork, and then it gets a bit close to the edge, and then you're like, oh, crikey, what happens if it frays? It's going to come undone. Whop a bit of fray check on, job done. £5.45, and that just makes everything very, very happy. We like that. So if you are working with delicate fabrics, if you are working, sometimes, you know, we've got a favourite fabric, it's a cheaper fabric, it frays, or it's a looser weave, and we're a little bit worried about that, just pop some fray check on, and that will solve all of those problems. So it means that you're extending the amount of fabrics that you can use, the type of fabrics that you can use, because you can stop that fraying so that you know that what you're making is nice and secure. So that's £5.45 for your fray check. Yes. Now, magnetic seam guide. For those of you that don't have a computerized machine, this is a fabulous little gadget. Obviously, if you do use it with your computerized machine, you do so at your own risk. But imagine that you want to do an even seam. You pop it on, it's got a magnet in there, so that will sit on your sewing machine, and then the fabric will just run along that edge there, and you get that equal seam all the way along. It's just $3.95. Pop it in your basket. Stocking filler time. Oh yes, that's how it comes to you. So everything in this hour under £10, already going very, very fast. $3.95. Pop that in if you fancy. Oh! Now, it took us a while to get this back in stock, but it is back in stock and it has been going crazy. This is your freezer paper. Now, what I didn't realise is that it is like real freezer paper in terms of you can wrap your sarnies in them, you can wrap your meat in them and pop it in the freezer. It's proper freezer paper. But what freezer paper has is a plasticky side. So if you put your freezer paper plastic side down onto your fabric and apply a bit of iron, then that will gently melt a little bit of that plastic on so that it will hold on to your fabric. Not a permanent fixture, but it means that you can do some applique, you can do some English paper piecing with it, and you can use it for that. So £4.95, incredibly useful to use. Of course, if you just want to pop that on your workbench because you've got someone small like I have in my life and they want to do some painting or something and you don't want it getting all over your table, you can use it for that as well. If you just want somewhere to mix your paints on, you can do that. If you just want something to stop glue getting down everywhere and not on your cutting mat because that's really annoying, do that too. Multiple uses. They're all written on the back there. So here we go. You can see all of these. It even shows you how to use it with your meats in the freezer. So buy one for your kitchen, one for your craft room. What can I say? Lots of different uses, but really useful. So you can use it in your applique, you can use it in your crafting, you can use it in your kitchen. You can even wrap your packages and send it in this. I like an old-fashioned wrapped package. $4.95 there, and you're getting 12 meters of that. Get it around the right way. It's your freezer paper. Oh, what? It disappeared. It's going that fast. So, $4.95 for that. Under £10 this hour. Whew. Right, Mr. Fuse. We've only brought this to wear about one other time, I think. Now, Mr. Fuse is the sheerest of fusibles, is the easiest way to describe it. But it also has the ability to migrate into your fibres for a really strong hold. It's really easy to work with. The fabrics still stay soft to the touch, and it is not going to put a gummy residue on your sewing needles because there's no added adhesives in the Mr. Fuse. It's really clever stuff. That's what it's looking like. Woo! So there we go. So it's basically, if I say, it's environmentally friendly, pure fusible that has been extruded to an ultra-fine web for a stay soft, strong bond without adding bulk. Solvent-free, no adhesives to gum up your needles, and it's suitable for a wide variety of fabrics, from velvets to cottons, to delicate tulle and organzas. Also, paper, craft, foam, leather, and many other materials. Gosh, do you know what? If it's doing leather as well, that is super, super strong. This hour, if you see it, pop it in your basket, check it out, and you're good to go. It's only $2.95 P&P per day. And if you don't like websites, that's fine. Then just give us a call. It's a free phone number, 0800 112 4433. And that is free to do so. So $8.95. Right, what else have we... Ooh, look at this. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So the purple one we had the other day is discontinued, but we do have magenta. It's going to cheer up your workroom, isn't it? We had to have it reordered because it's so incredibly popular. Very, very popular. But here it is, under £10 for a nice bit of storage. Ooh, nice clip there. Ta-da! Hey, we can fit a lot in there. You can stack them as well, which is really nice. So... Bum, bum, bum. And not only that, but you can actually see, I mean, if I show you, look, you can see the sticker on the bottom there. So you can actually get an idea of what's in there whilst having some pretty pink in there. Lucy really likes it. It is. If you are a paper crafter as well, this will fit your 12 by 12 pads in. So also if you've got, maybe you bought the other day, the 10 by 10 facet layer cake, then you can pop that in there and store that very, very safely. So it's a great size to have, whether you're a paper crafter, or whether you're a sewer, it's a really handy size to have. Pop it in your basket, it's under £10, it's just £8.95. It is now limited stock though, so if you want it, please check out your baskets. We don't have the purple one anymore, we're not getting that one back, I don't think. It's just the magenta that we've got for you. So £8.95, but it's happy, it's cheery, and it's a very lovely colour. There we go. That's it. And of course you can see into it, so you can see what you've got in there, whilst actually adding a lovely bit of splash of colour to your home. There you go. I'm going to put that down there. Iron cleaner. Oh, that's all I did yesterday after I got home from the bee. Well, no, it was just clean the house, do endless amounts of washing. I was only gone 4.5 days. Gosh, how can they make that much mess in that much time? Iron cleaner, £2.95, same as your P&P, yes. If you use any of your fusible anythings, your Bondaweb, your anything like that, if you're not using it with some kind of Teflon ironing cloth or something like that, then the chances are you have got some sticky on your iron. It happens. Don't worry. You haven't wrecked your iron. You can use some iron cleaner and you can get it off. It's a little bit like it's like a, we have used it a bit. We're mucky pups here, so we do like to use it a lot. Instructions: turn iron to setting 2, which is a warm, and place in rest position. When iron is warm, gently rub the sole plate lightly with the iron cleaner. Wipe iron immediately with an absorbent clean dry cloth. Repeat if necessary. That's all you have to do, and that will clean your iron and keep it nice and clean. That's what we want, isn't it? Yes. So QRGQ86, it's £2.95. Pop it in your basket. Don't miss out on that. It's boring, but it's necessary. It's one of those. But happily, it's a great price, which makes it kind of okay. But if you're opening up that basket today, pop it in. It's the same as your P&P. So, pop a few things in there. Make your basket worthwhile. There we go. Oh, yes. Producer Paul says, let's do the magnet, let's do the magnet, let's do the magnet. One of my favourite things. The first day that I saw this on air, I went straight out and bought one. Love it, love it. So this took us down memory lane last time we had it on air. Yes, I'm trying to think of the name of the, I've forgotten the name of the soap again. You know the ones that had the magnet? It looks like a soap dish, but here we go. You've dropped Imperial leather, yes. You've dropped your pins on the floor. Don't worry, whee! You can get them. You can get them really easily. Right, okay? So maybe you've dropped them on the floor, maybe you've just been taking them out as you sew along, but you haven't actually put them in a pin cushion, because that happens. Doesn't matter, just collect them all like that. Whee! Look at that. Love this. Absolutely love it. I have it, I use it, it's brilliant. We have paws, we have small hands and feet in our house. Not, my husband and I have got like normal size. I mean, like Freddie, he's got small feet. So you don't want them standing on any pins, needles, or anything like that, because let's face it, when you drop your needle, you've dropped it, you can't find it. Don't worry, because oh, that's how eager they are. Get off, get off. Everyone should have one of these. They just should. Whee! I love it. I spent hours playing with it. Sad, isn't it? But it's just brilliant. I absolutely love it. And actually, this is one of my craft pins. This is like the big, thickest of pins. You can see how thick that is, and it's still like, yeah, I want that. And it just grabs it. It's absolutely fab. Should I do that again? This never, ever bores me. I love it. So get off. It's so eager. Go on. Should I just come in from here? Oh, you can get sound effects this morning. I must have had a coffee. There you go. Whee! All done. 4:45. We are under £10 this hour only. So grab yourself some bargains, put them in your basket, check out your basket. You can check out your basket as many times as you like. It doesn't matter. You will only ever be charged 1p and p. Ooh, we've got a premiere for you. Never been seen before on air. Well, not this channel anyway. This is your high-tack fabric stiffener. What does it do? I hear you ask. It is suitable for most synthetic and natural materials, and it's actually ideal for blind making and things like that. But it's basically a permanent fabric stiffener. Okay, it's easy to use. You just brush it on. You can use it on your ribbons, your lace, your bows, all your sort of fabricy things. Actually, we've got some flower makers in the third hour. Yes, in the 10 o'clock hour. So actually that would work. That would mean that they held their shape. So really easy to use. First time ever on air. This is your fabric stiffener. You can apply it by brushing it on or dipping your fabric in there. Do try it on a little sample though first, just to check that how much you use, because the stiffness will depend on whether you use it neat or whether you water it down. So you can get a range of stiffness for $3.45. ROGQ35. Hello, Jane, Diana and Evelyn. Good morning. Lovely to have you with us this morning. Thank you very much for your messages. Oh, Evelyn's just been asking about the magnetic seam guide. Recommended not with computerized. We have, and it's been fine, but it does recommend. Manufacturer's recommendation is not. We have, it's been fine, but it's at your discretion. Okay, we can only tell you what the manufacturers recommend. But it's a great little piece of kit, actually. Woo! And look how strong it is. Look. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. Oh. This. Do you know what? Having seen so many people at the Great British Show Me Live, I think some could have done with this. The Sewing Supplies Handy Pocket Guide. Literally, you know when you arrive on a stand and you go, well, I'm not quite sure what that is, not quite sure what it does. This is it. So it takes you through. It's just one of those things that if you can't quite remember what it is that you need, or which feet you're looking for, because once you start looking at feet, they can all look a bit the same. So this takes you through all the different feet, all your different cutting tools. So maybe you want to compare when you get on somebody's in the shop or on someone's stand, or if you go into an event, then you can really compare, contrast, check which ones you want. It talks about all sorts of things. You've got elastic in there, you've got other notions. Ooh. It's just a really handy little pocket guide. So if ever you're unsure or you just get a bit bamboozled when you go out to shops, and you don't want to ask a silly question, then just take this with you. It's got a nice little guide there on your interfacing as well, because sometimes you're not quite sure what weights or what have you. And for under £6, pop it in your basket. You need never ask a silly question again. And there they are. Although there is no such thing as a silly question here. That is your Sewing Supplies Handy Pocket Guide, $5.95, VFSP81. Now, I mentioned feet. I've got a zipper foot for you. Not all machines come with a zipper foot. It's got to be said. But they are invaluable. So this is your zipper foot here. It's got a low shank foot. It fits most machines. It's fully adjustable for sewing left or right side of the zipper. $3.45. Hello. That's a fabulous price, isn't it? Here it is. This is it in real life. Bing, 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 bing. You see, so if you're sewing right or left, you just make sure that you have the needle one or other side. Doesn't matter, and that's just going to ease its way through. That's a nice little zipper foot, isn't it? Oh, nice price. Hello, $3.45. Producer Paul, have we had this to wear before? Have we had this on air before? I haven't seen it. Not on my watch. Once before. So, just pop it on, tighten it up, and you're good to go. Zip. $3.45 for that. Fits most machines. OJGQ62. Now, whilst I'm there, let's have a look at the old adjustable buckle. This is perfect for your bag making. Here it is. There you go. £1. Hello, £1.50. It's just really handy to have. If ever you're doing, a bag or anything like that, and you just want that adjustable strap, this is the one. £1.50. less than your P&P, but this is the hour. This is the hour. Pop it all in your bag, in your basket. Check it out. Get it. Off you go. And have a lovely day, knowing that you've got yourself some fabulous bargains. £1.50. It's adjustable. That's why it's got that bar across there. Thread it through. And then it does that sort of like lock thing, doesn't it, onto the fabric. 30mm, which is really handy if you're getting webbing and stuff like that. That's a really regular size 30mm there for webbing straps and things like that. And it's just £1.50. Pop it in your basket, even if you don't have that project in mind yet. When you come to it, you've got it there. TFPH92. Now, let's talk Sashco. I've got needles, I've got this, I've got other needles. Okay, we've got this funny little implement, and this is your Sashco thimble. So you've asked for it, we've brought it to air for you. So this is for your long straight stitches so that you can just help push it through. So hang on, it would probably go here. So. And you know that it just gets stuck? Give it a shove with your, there we go, with your needle. There. And look, you can see, you can adjust it. So it doesn't matter how big your hands are. You could have big man hands, you could have little pixie fingers, it doesn't matter. It's going to fit you. £3.95. You asked for it, we've brought it to wear. This is particularly suitable for hand stitching long stitches where you just need that push through. It's one of those things that with Sashco, so for example, with the really long needles, you have a long needle in Sashco so that you can look at your stitches on the needle so that you can absolutely make sure that your stitches are nice and even. So then you've got a lot of fabric that you're pushing through, which is why you need the thimble, so that when you've got these nice long needles, and these are super long, these are your Sashco needles here, £3.95, and then you just use your thimble and push those lovely long needles through. Now these have got gold plated ends there, so that it's going to make it lovely and easy to thread up. They come in 3 different sizes and 3 different lengths, okay? We've only just got these back in stock. And look, you can even see there, they even recommend using it with the thimble. That's the thimble, that little round bit there, that's the thimble. And they're like, yeah. So it's all about right tools for the job. £3.95 for your 3 long Sashco needles. Yay! We've got another pack for you though, because sometimes you just want different sizes, different lengths. It's entirely up to you. So here you've got 8 needles, 2 of each. So you've got 50.8mm, 44.5mm, 42.9mm and 34.9mm length, and a diameter of 0.84, 0.99, 0.91 and 0.89mm. So they've got that nickel plated tip so that it's going to slide into your work nice and beautifully, and then you've got that gold plated end part there to make threading an absolute dream. And that's £4.95. The price is a dream too. That's what we absolutely love. So you've got 4 different types there, 4 different sizes, 2 of each for a great price. Lots of you love your Sashco. It's absolutely taken the channel by storm, and you've been demanding it. You've been absolutely demanding it. But if you just compare those with the super long ones, so the better you get, the longer the needle that you're going to go for, these are a great place to start. £4.95, but of course also incredibly handy to use with your Sashco thimble. Hurrah! But you see, that's one of the things. I'd have looked at that in a haberdasheries and not had a clue what it was all about. So, it's, you know, it's right tools for the job, isn't it? Now then, of course, if you're buying things, you need to put them somewhere, don't you? How about this? Look at what, £3.95, seriously, for the storage box. 18 compartments. But the nice thing is, it's for you to decide how you want to divvy up your compartments. Yes, that's the one. So you can just slide these little things in and divvy everything up. So I know that a lot of people use these actually for jewellery making, but maybe you've got some of your needles, you want to pop your needles in there, maybe you want to pop your thimble in there, maybe you want to pop something else in there. It's great, isn't it? And then you just divide it all up, maybe pop a little rotary cutter in there. Oh, don't forget your iron cleaner, that needs to go. So, you know, you can just fit an awful lot in. Multi-buy, stack them up, all good. All good. So you see, you can just, oh look, you can hang them as well. That's really handy. So you could just hang it if you wanted to. You get everything out and then show you, look, just stack them. And of course, because they're clear, you can see. You can see exactly what's going on. So it's still under £10 for two. And what are they for? So it's actually under £8 for two. That's great. So stack them up, get everything in order. Yeah. And then, but you decide how big you want the divisions. It could be, I use these for all my jewellery stuff. They're fab because you can just divide everything in. But maybe you want to do like a thread with its bobbin, and you could divide it like that. It's up to you. You know what you've got. You know what you need to store. But there it is for £3.95. It's a cracking price. Grab a couple maybe. Nearly halfway through. Oh my goodness me. So it's time, of course, to show my favourite things. Now, bag handles, Tilda toy legs, anything long and thin that you need to turn through. Grab one of these. Comes in a set of 3. It's the Prim Turner. You know this is one of my very, very favourite things. There it is, £7.95 for all 3. So down from your rouleau loops with your tiddly tiny up to your larger bag straps, you can turn them with ease. 3 different sizes there for you. Let me show you how it works because it's super easy. So you get the plastic end and it's nicely, what's the word I want? Tapered. That'll do. Thank you very much, Wardering Director Mike, who's actually on cameras today. And then you just pop that through. Now, what you do have to make sure is that one of your ends is sewn up. You can always unpick it. Pop that in. Ta-da! Done. Bit quick, missed it. Okay, so you've sewn your handle. And let's face it, this is the boring bit that everybody hates having to do. Yeah, don't worry about it. Look, bing, ready, steady. We did this the other day with a much, much longer piece. Oh, actually, and then once that's in there, look, you can then use it as your pokey tool to poke out your edges. The middle one, the middle-sized one, is absolutely the perfect size for your Tilda monkey legs. Just saying. So that is just fab. I love it. We have sold hundreds of these because they're brilliant. Oh, got to move on. Sorry, I get a bit carried away with that one. Right. Oh, ooh, now. We are going fast this hour. I understand we're going fast. But just something to say that as soon as we've gone through them and the details have come up on the screen, they go onto our website, sewingquarter.com, underneath where you can watch live. Then it just filters in like a great long shopping list. So you don't have to try and remember the codes and try and find it. You can just have a look underneath where we're live. Or just give the call centre a ring. It's free, 0800 112 4433. Now, this is your snap fastener. We love this. So if you imagine having a little coin purse or something like that, then this is just, or sunglasses case, it's just a little snap fastener. £2.45. Last time we had these to wear, they went absolutely crazy. But it's just, you would just create a little tunnel at the end of your bag or purse or whatever, unpin the end, slip it in, pin it again, and then you've got your little snap fastener. Really super easy, super cute. £2.45 for that, 8.5 centimetres long. Woo! Now, okay. Ooh, oh, now, hang on, these. These are quite new to me. But I do absolutely rate them thoroughly. So this is your under thimble. Now, This is for protection for the stitches underhand. No more sore fingers, calluses, or stained fabrics. Yeah, you know, we've all had that, haven't we? The under thimble is small enough to free your fingers, yet protects from painful needle punctures. So you've got a special adhesive that basically you use as a thimble. So, look, here we go. This is all you do. Can you see here? You've got, and these are reusable, these little adhesive pads. We might have used one. So you take one of those off, put it on your finger there, and then you put that little metal pad there on top, and then you've just got that to then use wherever. Because sometimes, you know, you don't get the right thimble size or what have you. They're not all adjustable like the one that we've had on the show today. So this is also small. Sometimes I find thimbles a bit bulky, but this is absolutely perfect. So it just sits on your finger like that. Through it goes. £9.45, fab, and you can reuse those pads, by the way. Excellent. Ooh, hey, you might have noticed in the studio, a bit Christmassy. So you might want some sparkly threads. So let's have a look at gold metallic embroidery threads. Maybe you just want to make that project super, super special. 36 metres for £1.45. That's like pennies a metre, isn't it? That's ridiculous. So if you fancy having that beautiful gold metallic thread in your life, just adding that little bit of extra special something, then there it is. That's the gold. Hey, look, here's the silver. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's beautiful, isn't it? Really beautiful. £1.45 again for 36 metres? Yes. Yes. That's 40 yards if you want it in old money. It's 36.292 metres, actually, so it's nearly 37 metres. But that is what you're getting. Lovely. There you go. It says on the back, available in other colours. Yes, it is. It's also available in gold. So there we go, £1.45. Pop that in your basket. Whether you're, oh yeah, you can embroider and hand stitch with that. That'd be absolutely stunning. So, Wonder Web. Where is it? Oh, over here. Yeah, to the tune of Thundercats. That's right. This is for permanent hems the professional way. Yeah, do you know what? Sometimes we can't be bothered to actually sew a hem. Or, you know, if you're like me and you wear heels a lot. So certainly when I was teaching, I had one pair of trousers that it didn't matter what happened, I always put my heel through the hem and ripped it. And so sometimes you just need to iron it on. So it's perfect on the hems of skirts, trousers, dresses, and curtains as well. Great, makes it nice and easy. It's fine, it's fusible fleece, which bonds your fabrics together quickly and easily, but it gives a natural, firmly joined finish. It's washable, dry cleanable, easy to use. Perfect. Very, very easy. Full instructions on the back. £4.45. DQGQ03. Hurrah! Now, I love these. Maybe you want to use this with your gold and silver thread. How did you learn to sew? Can you remember? Can you actually remember when you started? We started with grids, and so the needle went up one, in the other. And here what you're getting are 16 templates. So you can practice your cross stitch, you can practice all your different stitches in here with a grid that's going to be nice and even. So it doesn't matter how young, this could be for your grandkids, maybe you've got them coming to stay, maybe you want to teach them to sewing. This is a brilliant way to get them to sew, and because all of those are evenly spaced, they're going to look brilliant, and that then gets the imagination of the child or whoever's learning. If it looks good, they're going to want to do more of it. You know, it's that satisfaction, isn't it, of having made something that looks absolutely fab. So this is CMCG 42, perfect for after class groups, things like that. 16 of these, maybe you run a brownie group or something. Get them sewing. Get them sewing, keep them busy for an awfully long time. But it's £7.95. You get a lot of these in there. So that's what? Less than 50 pence for each one of the hearts. Which, for some, you know, to keep kids busy, easy. The packet gives you some little ideas. So, you know, so just some inspiration. Maybe you want to stitch these and have these as bunting. They would look beautiful. Could you imagine all stitched up with different things and then have them as bunting everywhere? That would be really pretty, wouldn't it? Really pretty. And you get to practice all your stitching in the same time. So $7.95 for that. Now, oh, you know those little books that we had? I've got another one. So this is your Quilter's Fabric. Answers at your fingertips. Just pop it in your bag. Then you've always got it. Tons of inspiration in one teeny book. Never be stumped by a fabric dilemma again. Just pop it in your bag. Take it to your classes, to your favourite shops, whatever. You can just have it in there. It demystifies your fabric. When I was learning, I used to go to fabric shops and not know, you know, kind of what weight was suitable for what. And then, you know, people would start talking about the grain. And I was like, what? What, like the grape and the grain? No, different. So it takes you through how to select fabric, the weights, the colours, the patterns. There you go, there's your colour wheel. And it also, the character of it is brilliant, isn't it? It's got so much information. Add some sparkle. You've got different techniques, different strategies for choosing what you want the ultimate thing to wash or not to wash. That's always a question that we get asked. And it's all at laundry day. Yeah. We need to know about our fabrics, what we can and can't do. Troubleshooting, where and how to store your fabrics. Do you know, actually, I love this because the very first thing that she says, how true is this? Okay, she says there are millions of ways to store fabric. However, first and foremost, it should be kept away from a light source. That's fair enough, natural or artificial, to avoid fading. Second, your fabric should be easy to access. If it's an effort to pull out your fabric to play with, most likely you won't bother. How true is that? How true. $5.95 for that. It's a great little book. This hour is Fast and Furious. Make your most of your P&P. Check out your baskets. Have you all got your plasticky beads, pellets? Let's. I just want to recap because these took a long time to get back into stock. Hey, we've got a new warehouse. Did anybody tell you that? But we're just sorting it out. So we're going to have lots of new products soon. But in the meantime, look at this. Multi-buying on this. This is really great. $6.95 means that you can be making your iPad stand. It means you can be making your door stoppers. You're not having to worry about weevils. I really don't know what a weevil is, but apparently they get in the rice if you use rice to fill stuff. So $6.95 for your kilo of grey plastic pellets. Oh, they're quite satisfying as well. Oh, you need to check out your baskets on that, so it's beautiful. What next? Tailor's Awl. This. AWL, awl. It's basically a pointy pokey stick thing, so you can make holes in your fabric where you need to. There you go. It is very sharp, okay, but it is your tailor's awl. So when you need to when you do need to go through that fabric, then there it is for $2.95. It is a really useful little tool. If you're a paper crafter, then it's a pokey tool. P8GQ, I think it was 94. Okay, but check out on the website, 74. Rotary, oh, now. What were we doing the other day? Oh, I know what we were doing. We were doing we had the creative grids coming up next hour. The Dresden plate, wasn't it? It was the Dresden plate. And Lucy said, she's up next hour as well, she said that actually if you're doing small circular cuts, use a small rotary cutter. Under £10, $9.95. This is your 18mm Clover rotary cutter. You've still got that grip there and there. Nice little present there. And then just pull that back, whoosh, cut, off you go. And then just cover and off you go. But it means that you can rotary cut those smaller sizes, which is absolutely perfect. $9.95 there. SWGQ56. How many times have you used your big rotary cutter, your normal rotary cutter, and gone, oh, actually, bit clumpy, needed something a little bit smaller? This is it. Who knew they came so small? $9.95 and a small price too. SWGQ56. Hey, talking about small, love these. This is, look at that. Now, I think this is like 4 times magnification. It is, isn't it? But look, hello, tweezers. Tweezers and magnifying glass. Oh, I'll tell you what, having been staying in a hotel, I realise how bad my lighting is at home. Gosh, those mirrors in the bathrooms are brutal, aren't they? Absolutely brutal. Anyway, if you want to thread a needle or pick something up, go, oh yes, hello, I can see you now. Ha-ha! So it's just a lot easier because if, you know, sometimes you just need to hand thread something or do whatever and you can't quite see. Maybe you're using a twin needle on your sewing machine. Learned all about twin needles with jersey fabrics over the weekend. That was very interesting. But you can't use your needle threader, can you, on your machine if you're using a twin needle? But this is a great way to be able to thread and also see. Now, you can adjust for your own eyesight where you need to go, and then so that it's not going to cause a problem, just slot it back in there, and that will hold it all in place, ready to go. $5.45, fabulous price. Yes. Oh, Velcro. We can call it Velcro, not hook and loop, because it is actual Velcro. Now, the joy of this. How many times have you made a cushion, you've done an envelope fastening, and then you realise that the cushion is actually really, really puffy and that your envelope's just sort of bulging a little bit? Well, here you go. These are your stick-on Velcro spots for your fabric. The beauty of these is that you put them on, you place them on, you don't have to sew them. After 24 hours, they will form a permanent bond. Hello. No more sticking up your needle on your sewing machine, trying to sew on your Velcro. That's a pain, isn't it? But this will form a permanent bond after 24 hours. You can wash it at 30 degrees. Yep, you can wash it as well, which is just fab. So you just peel, you release the liner and press it onto the fabric. And then after 24 hours, perfect. Works best on cotton, polyester, polyblends and nylon, would you believe? $3.95, pop it in. Pop it in. Ooh, tailor's chalk wheel. Hello, love this. Ergonomic, so I like this. Oh, I don't have any fabric to zip it on. But basically, pop this in your bag. You've got a cap on so you don't get chalk all over the place, which if you just have chalk lying around happens. But it's got a tiny little wheel. But on your fabric, it is a really satisfying noise, isn't it? And you can do curves and everything, but it just gives out, that's just full of chalk dust in there. Isn't that great? Just, you know, don't sew up your hand, but it just gives you an idea. It's great, isn't it? It's great for Sashko because you have to do your grids, don't you? There you go. $5.45. Great prices this hour, all under £10. All under £10. Perfect for presents. Oh, have we got the actual thing of this for me to with? Can I open this one? Yeah. This is your, is this brand new? Oh, the colour, different colour. So, I love this. This makes me so happy. It's the little things. Silver eye, extra fine. Now these are extra fine, okay? But you know when you get needles and you open them up and then you do that thing, don't you, where you need to be really careful about how you get them out because you don't want them all going everywhere else. You have to get your magnet to pick them all up. Yay! So extra fine. And then you pick your needle, you take it out, you do your sewing, you pop it back in, you push them down, you pop the lid on. Hooray! You need another one. Yay! Oh, that never gets old. I love this. Whee! Hours of fun. Hours of fun with that. Check out your baskets for these because they're brilliant. Do we need stock warnings? Oh, Velcro's almost sold out. Good call. Good shout if you managed to get your hands on that. Sashiko thimble, almost sold out. What else? Prim turn. Oh, let me just show you that again. Prim turning set. Make sure that you grab that on demand. It's very, very, very demanding. Well, you're demanding it. It's not demanding to use. I mean, it's ridiculously easy. We did this the other day. I did it in 6 seconds, start to finish. Start to finish. Look, hang on. Should we time it again? From hands down. 3, 2, 1, go. Ba, 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 ba. Done. Is that a new record? 5 seconds? Yeah. You can't turn anything in 5 seconds, can you? Sandra messaged in. Ah, good lady. She said that she has actually made 5 tilde monkeys and couldn't have managed it without the turning tool. That was it. You see, that was it. When Freddie went off with chickenpox was at school, he left his tilde monkey at school, and I had to make an emergency monkey because it's not fair to like waft around school with chickenpox, is it? So I had to make him an emergency monkey, and thank goodness I had my turning tool because it just meant bish bash bosh. I could turn those legs. And also then you can use the pokey end bit to get your stuffing in as well. So more uses than they actually think. $7.95. A few more things to see. The glue here. So this is your aqua glue marker. If I show you this. Bright yellow, but don't worry because that is going to dry. Just turn it to get more out. That's going to dry absolutely clear. If you do any English paper piecing, this is the job for you. Forget having to do all that tacking, unless you love it, in which case great. But if you're like me and time is of the essence, then just use this. It's a temporary fix. So you would just glue your fabric around the edges and then glue it onto your template for your English paper piecing. It does then come out when you wish to remove that template, and that glue dries clear, so you don't always have like a bright yellow glue, but it means you can see where you've put it. $3.95, fabulous. Right, the other glue that I've got for you is your textile glue. Ooh, yes. Now, in 30 minutes, this will set. So it glues many types of fabrics. We're looking at cotton, denim, linen, felt, and many, many others. It's solvent-free. That's quite important, isn't it? Washable, dry cleanable. Just, you know, make sure you test the area first. It can be removed with water before it's dried. So if you've got a bit overexcited like I do with glue, then you can wipe it off. Just don't leave it in your car when it's a frosty morning. Oh, the Velcro sold out. Well done. This hour is all about fast and furious. Check out your baskets, making the most of our P&P of just $2.95 per day. Most places you can't park for very long for $2.95, can you? Let alone the petrol costs and everything else, and the effort of having to actually get out of your pyjamas to leave the house. Instabond, yes, haven't talked about the Instabond. So your Instabond is temporary fixing. Remember we had the Wonder Web earlier, that was a permanent bond. This is temporary. So for your hems, for fixing removable shoulder pads, you can use it for that. You can hold shoulder straps in place while you stitch them. Home furnishings, get those trims in position. So this is like tacking. Basically, it's like a tacking tape, so it's not going to keep it there forever and ever, but maybe you're putting a trim round your lampshade or something, you'd temporarily fix it with this and then sew it on. Or if you want to make sure that your hems are going to be where you need them to be, temporarily pop it in there. No sewing, no ironing, no pins, but then you can just sew. There you go. $1.95, under £2. So your Instabond is semi-permanent, will come out. Your Wonder Web, remember that one? That was a permanent adhesion. So that's the two difference. What do you want to look at, Producer Paul? The embroidery tool, this one. Yeah, it is. So this is a funny old thing. This is a bead embroidery tool. This is a needle refill. So this is your Easy Bead Couture, creating elegant embroidery by adding beads to your things. Okay, so this is a replacement needle exclusively for the bead embroidery tool. So if you have that and you just needed it, but it is a replacement tool. So that's only going to work if you've already got the the embroidery tool. £8.85. There you go. Now, lots of people adding things into your baskets. Please do make sure that you've done that. You know what we haven't looked at is our other little glue stick. Yeah. It's like that, all those glue sticks that we used to have in our pencil cases when we were kids. Again, this is your temporary hold. So whether you're using it on paper, felt or anything else, perfect for English paper piecing. Again, maybe you want to fix that applique in place before whilst you stitch it around the edge, but you don't want a glue that's going to hold it permanently because you are going to stitch around the edge. There it is. £5.95. You see, we bring you a variety and then you can choose which one appeals to you. £5.95 for that VBGQ82. That is everything this hour. Gosh. Whew. Now, let's have a look at the website. When you look at the website, this is what you're looking for. So go onto the website, go to the Watch Live, and underneath is everything that we have looked at this hour. How many products have we gone through, Producer Paul? 37. Gosh, that's a lot of talking, isn't it? 37 items there. So if things are missing, it's because they've sold out. You weren't quick enough. Now, another very, very popular one is freezer paper. Not always that readily available everywhere that you go. There it is. This is your freezer paper, plastic coated. It's that plastic coating that is the key here. Look, it even says on here all the different uses. So whether you're using it for your crafts, whether you're using it for your applique, whether you're using it to wrap and send parcels, then that's absolutely fine. That's for your crafting, that's for your applique. Because it's got that plasticky finish, you can put that fabric side on and then just iron it on and it forms a light adhesive. And then over here, it shows you how to wrap your parcels. Christmases are coming. Or if you just want to use it for the original intention, which is to wrap your meat and bung it in the freezer, there it is. One for the kitchen, one for your craft room, £4.95. Pellets, 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 pellets. You don't get the glass jar, by the way. Although it looked quite nice. Do you know what we've all... Sounds like the sea, doesn't it? Whee! £6.95 for your heavy grey plastic pellets. It's very, very satisfying. I do like that. Now, use these for your door stoppers. Anything that needs a little bit of weight, your door stoppers. You know, in fact, have we got any of my tablet stands anywhere? Can't see one. Then that's a great way to fill it. So it's got enough weight, but obviously everything's going to move so that you can lean your tablet against it. Lots of you have been making those. So this is £6.95. What it means is if you are using this for door stoppers or general fillings, firstly, they're washable. Secondly, it also means that you're not going to get anything eating your ice. It's not desirable, is it? But these are. So £6.95 for your heavy-duty plastic pellets. KAPI 45, that's your code. Took us a while to get these back in stock, but they are back. They are back. Oh, now the other thing, actually, that's been going super, super crazy is the magenta box. This will fit. If you are, I know that a lot of you sort of do multi-crafts, in which case if you have 12 by 12 papers that are quite hard to store, they will fit your 12 by 12 papers, but otherwise you can see into them, so it's really handy just to store all those nickety knick-knack-nicks and keep them in there. Yeah, it's a technical term. Just all your knick-knacks in there, or whatever it is that you want to pop in there. No one else heard of that term? Oh, you can stack them as well. Look, there you go. And look at the price, £8.95. So you can see in. It's lovely and cheerful. And yeah, I'd buy a couple, stack them. £8.95, QZGQ14. This is a great hour for showing you those things that we don't always bring to air very often. Maybe they haven't fitted into a project. Maybe it's just that actually it hasn't been the right time of year. But Christmases are coming, apparently. Look at all the Christmas. Maybe you're making your own decorations. Maybe you want to do a little bit of hand stitching. How about a bit of gold embroidery thread? 36 metres. So £1.45. That's a great price for your embroidery thread there for 36 metres. Yeah. And then, because we have a lot of silver at Christmas rather than gold, so this one would suit me better. So again, 36 metres, £1.45, but this is your silver embroidery thread. Look at that. So 40 gauge thread. I'm going to assume that it's the same for the other one. Yeah. Anne in Cheshire. Oh, she's asked about the fabric stiffener. Oh, Anne, let me tell you about the fabric stiffener. First time to wear, actually, for me with this. Depending how stiff you want your fabric, you wash it in, you put the fabric in it, you can brush it in. Entirely up to you how stiff you want your fabric, depending on how much you water this down. Or you can just use it neat if you want it really, really stiff. $3.45 for that, so very, very inexpensive. ROGQ 35. Lucy is up next. Hey, look at this. She's making this. Isn't it absolutely stunning? So it's all going to be jelly roll-tastic after this short break. Check out your baskets and see in just a few moments. Follow us on Pinterest. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to discover sewing work we create and love.
So I'm going to be showing you how to do an ease stitch. It's very similar to our running stitch here, but the purpose of it would be different. So I've kind of mocked the head of a sleeve here. 9 times out of 10 you will have to ease the top section of your sleeve. So this is the stitch that you would do that with if you were going to do it with hand. So I'm going to use the embroidery thread. I've just popped a knot on the end again just so it doesn't pull through. Normally you wouldn't do it with embroidery thread. So on your sleeve, normally these sections will need to be kept as they are because it's only this section here that we need to be working with. So I'm going to be doing a running stitch quite close to the edge of the fabric. I'm just going to do the quick method here where you're pulling the needle through the fabric while keeping it on the same needle. So I'm going to stop there and then pull that all the way through like so. So you can see that I've got just that section sewn there, and then as I begin to pull you can see that I'm easing the head of my sleeve in. So when that is stitched, these curves should disappear. They shouldn't be there because you've eased the bigger section into a smaller section on the clothing. So that's easing.
When you spend £10 on your first purchase, you will receive this free sewing kit from the Sewing Quarter worth £14.99. On Wednesday the 27th of September, Tilly Rose makes a welcome return to the Sewing Quarter studio. She's bringing with her a collection of wonderful stitch kits so you can sew your own fabulous cushions at home. Stitch kits produce a wide range of pre-printed canvases to help you make striking cross-stitch creations in no time. Tilly will showcase some of her favourites, starting with some fabulously festive Christmas-themed designs, followed by a host of images inspired by the natural world. So join us and the talented Tilly Rose for some merry makes and some home-sewn creature comforts on Wednesday the 27th of September at 8 AM and 10 AM. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Happy Christmas. September. It's all in the shops though, isn't it? Everywhere. Especially the chocolate. That bit makes me happy. Hey, welcome back. I'm Natasha McCarty. You've got me for the next hour, but not me. Oh, no, 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 no. I've got the fabulous Lucy Brennan with me as well today, which is an absolute treat. Can't wait. She's made, the most spectacular quilt. There was actually a cheer in the office when she did the big reveal when she came in this morning. And for a cheer at 6 o'clock in the morning, it's got to be good, let me tell you. Here's a little teaser of it. Oh, we do like to tease you. Look at that. Yes, yes, yes. When you have all the colours, it goes. It goes anywhere. You go all the colours, doesn't matter. We've got 2 different choices for you. Basically, we've used the Carolyn Foster book, okay? We've had her as a guest on the show, and she's lovely. She's such a lovely lady, but she likes to use your jelly rolls to make your quilts and gifts. So £12.95 for the book, which is really rather fab. Can I just, there she is. There. Hi, Carolyn. There she is. Really lovely lady. Oh, I remember her. Yeah. Do you remember? Is that... So, talks you through the fabrics, which fabrics to use, but we've put a bundle together, so don't you fret. Don't you worry. And then, you see, you get all the projects. We'll have a look at those later because we're going to be doing one. Yay! £12.95 there. And then we've got 2 bundles. So let's start off with the one that you've just seen the quilt made out of. Oh, I'm so pleased. So this is Heather Bailey. Well, it's not actually Heather Bailey herself. It's her fabric. 40 design strips. 2.5-inch strips, jelly rolls, whatever you want to call it. There they are. Ah, look at that. That is the most satisfying sight, isn't it? Just gorgeous. Look at all those colours. Hello. Absolutely, it's a rainbow. You have literally all the colours there in gorgeous designs, all cut, ready to go. It's all pinked as well, so you don't even have to worry about fraying or anything else like that. They are all cut perfectly, ready to go. That makes me very happy. Not only that, but we've given you thread. Hurrah! And 4.5 metres of backing fabric, so you can do your binding as well. And you get the book, and you get a whopping great big piece of batting, which is twin size, which is 72 inches by 90 inches. You can make a whopper, let me tell you. But maybe Amy Butler. We had on the stand, on the demo stand, we had some Amy Butler just hanging up, and someone came up to me, she said, oh, I love that fabric, who's it by? So it's Amy Butler. She said, I forget how much I love her. Well, don't forget, here it is. All your blues, which is really lovely, cool and refreshing and just really rather gorgeous. 40 of those, and this is your backing fabric. You don't get the Christmas tree, by the way. You don't get that. 4.5 metres of your linear backing fabric there, and your thread, and your book. It's the kit that never runs out when you've got a book. You've always got it there as a reference. And your twin size, beautiful cotton batting. Nice. And it's needle punched too. Lucy. Yay! Hello.
Hello, lovely.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good to have you on the show. Better
Good
than
to be
good.
here.
It's great to have you on the show. Now.
Thanks, Natasha.
Yay! Beautiful.
Yeah, so fun to make. Really, really fun. I love the fabric. Absolutely love it.
It's your kind of fabric,
yeah,
isn't it?
it really is. I love the bright colours, and even the patterns on each of the prints are just really, they're just modern and striking, but all together it's got a real sort of bohemian vibe to it that I really like.
This is, you know how sometimes you just want that traditional feel quilt, you've got a traditional home, but maybe you're making for someone a bit younger, maybe, you know, that it's like you don't, when it's sort of when you don't want a quilt to necessarily look like a quilt, but you want that hit of colour,
and I think
you want that design.
Absolutely, it's cheery.
Yes.
It's so cheery, and the whole time I was working with it, I was just smiling, and because you can't help it, you know, you look at those vibrant colours, and that's what's, you know, that's so nice to be able to give a quilt to somebody, you know, if it's a gift or even if it's just for yourself, to be able to have something that every time you look at it, it's going to make you feel good.
Self-gifting. Also, absolutely
important.
Okay. We're all okay with self-gifting.
We are.
All in the book. You get the book in the bundle too, which is rather fab.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous book.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, everything. It's one of those books that you want to make everything in it, which is the most important point. But the way she explains everything and the way it's put together, Carolyn puts a really big emphasis on techniques, and I think that's really important. And so, you know, as I was looking through, as I was reading the book, I was thinking, oh, and I could do that with this and that with it. You know, it spurs you on creatively.
Yes.
And that's what I really loved about that.
Because you didn't stick rigidly to the pattern, did you? You took an
when
element
you
of
can
it and went, yeah, I'll do a bit of this and then a bit of that.
And that's, you know, that's what it's all about. You don't, you know, you've got the patterns there, so if you want to strictly follow a pattern, you absolutely can. But then if you want to mix it up and just make it your own.
Well, you've done a quilt or two, haven't you? You know, you've got a bit of confidence to maybe come away from that trodden path.
Yeah.
So, you've also used, you love a creative quilt. Let's be
too. I love them. And that's what makes it, you know, she's very handily that there is a template in the book, but she also tells you which rulers you can use. So that's really nice. So you've got that option. If you don't have the rulers, you can just use a template, but it makes it much easier and quicker if you do have the rulers.
Which ruler?
This one is the multi-size 6-inch flying geese one. And I've brought, this is mine, and I'm just to show you what I do. You know, we're always talking about don't throw it away, don't throw it away.
Always.
Because it comes with the little leaflet that gives you all the instructions of how to use the ruler and the different ways that you can use it. So I keep mine bulldog clipped to the ruler, which makes sense. So I'm not going to lose it.
What an excellent idea, because you're so right. We do every time we say that is not packaging, do not throw it away. Because when you unravel it, it gives you all the instructions, ideas, tips, hints, advice. Never, ever, ever throw that away. However, you will need to remove it to use it.
Yes, you will. But it's stuck on there with that clip. But because a lot of them, they come, you know, they come in the little bags. And so if you've got the smaller ones, that's great. But bigger ones like this don't necessarily fit in a bag, so I use my bulldog clip to keep organised. These are the instructions.
There they are. Ta-da!
And I was using this, I think it was last week I was using this. But what's great is for a template like this, you can apply it to lots of different quilts. So these shapes, you know, are going to be, you know, you've got flying geese, quarter square triangles, half square triangles. You can do all of that with that one ruler, which is fantastic.
So we're using this bit for the triangle-y bits.
Yes.
In here. So technical today. Sorry, I've lost my words.
The triangle-y bits.
Triangle-y bits.
Well, that's what they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm all right with that.
Yes. Just say what you see. Triangle-y bits. There.
Yeah.
Look at that. And that's what's giving it the ripple.
Yeah, and what's lovely about using the creative grids is it makes it so easy. You're not having to measure, you know, I mean, obviously you have to concentrate, you're using a rotary cutter, but you're not concentrating on the measurements and the, you know, you just...
You don't fall asleep whilst doing this.
No.
Like
don't
you on
cut
the
when you're
train
tired.
this morning.
I know, I very nearly did fall asleep. I was so scared. I wake up in London.
Where's Lucy? Where is she? Lucy. I'd set my alarm on my phone.
Yeah, I know people always say that to me, but I'm just not that organised, and my phone's very often on silent anyway. So
that's no good,
you know,
is it?
No good at all.
Anyway, you didn't fall asleep.
I didn't.
Unlike the man
goodness.
next to you.
The man
was
next
he
to me
doing that
did.
whole?
No, he just was quite happily falling asleep and snoring away.
Good man.
Yeah.
So what are we doing?
So, we're using a jelly roll, and we're using the full, you know, we're using up all of it.
Really?
You can have some left over, and I will point out in the pattern she added border as well, but I didn't. I just used all the strips, and then I saved some back to use for the binding.
I love it.
So, because I just love the prints so much, I wanted to use them in the binding as well.
In the kit, though, you get a whopping 4.5 metres of backing fabric.
Yeah.
Have we given you an awful lot there?
You've got enough there to back it and do the binding, if you want to.
Okay.
And I used it for that central square. Today I'm going with purple, just for something a bit different, because like you say, all the colours. Yes, because I can.
All the colours.
All the colours. So, yes, but it depends what size you want to make it. This is actually a bit smaller than the pattern is in the book, because she adds borders as well, so... you've got enough, yeah. And so depending on the size, you might have a bit left over.
Yes, Director Tim, she has used different coloured threads in the middle bit. It looks lovely with the quilting.
Yes, I did. Thank you
I like that he's noticing the attention to detail.
Yeah. Well, there was a bit of debate about which colours to go with.
So you just used all the colours?
Yeah, but I kept it fairly subtle.
Yes.
I didn't go for too bright of a colour because I didn't want to detract. You know, there's enough in there, isn't there? So I didn't. Initially, I was going to go with yellow, but I just thought I'd make it a bit more subtle.
You know what would also look lovely? You know, you can get those variegated threads.
Yes, that would be beautiful. That would be really beautiful. Because then you've got all the colour and all the thread. Yeah, that would look lovely. And you can, you know, that was just my design in the centre.
Yeah.
You can go with whatever pattern. In the book, I think it's just an all-over quilted design, so that just goes through the middle. And you could use a pattern fabric in the centre as well if you wanted to, or fussy cut something. That would be nice.
Like a big rose or something.
Yes. Ooh, that would be lovely.
Bit of your social climber.
So lots of options. Yes, we do like the social climber.
Okay, so
you're using your jelly roll, and then you need an 8.5-inch square, and that's the top.
Can I do it?
Yes.
Can I do it?
Yes. We're gonna
How many of you just? God, don't want to do it. Don't want to do it.
What's your jumper though? You'll end up
because
with all
it is never, ever, ever. No, I can't do it now. Got all excited. Can't do it. Yes, producer Paul. Oh, we've had a few people ask about the design roll. It's never been on before. It's beautiful. You can buy it by itself. Beautiful. So we'll give you the details for that. But as ever, you know, we've given you an option to just get everything, so you don't have to faff about. I don't believe in faffing.
No,
Bish, bash, bosh, get the whole lot done. Bing! This is for the Heather Bailey True Colours design roll. 40 of these. This is the moment, isn't it? There's no going back from here. It will never go back to being like that again. Look at that. Sean, that's for you, by the way, my love. $52.95. Look at that. Ah, the satisfaction. 40 pieces. But it's the whole look, it is the whole rainbow. That's what I mean by you've got all the colours in there. Limited stock of this, $52.95.
It's absolutely beautiful, beautiful. And the patterns in there are really on trend as well. You've got this sort of, you know, it's a bit like a palm leaf. That's very in at the moment.
Palm leaf or top of a pineapple.
Yes, or a pineapple. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah, and there's some of the prints are sort of quite mod. Yeah. You know, they've got that sort of a vibe to them as well. But you've just got those gorgeous
because you're just getting a glimpse of it. Isn't that lovely? I like this though. It's a bit organic.
I think that one's my favourite. I really like that. Yeah.
You're going in for a favourite this early on.
Well,
you've peaked.
I might. Yeah. And look, even in the neutral, it's still beautiful.
Really beautiful. If you want it by itself, it is limited.
You could do a lovely. Pink and red's my favourite. You could do.
You just had a favourite.
No, I know.
How many
that print is my favourite, but that colourway I think is my favourite. But you could easily split this into warm and cool, which would look amazing, like a log cabin, warm, cool. Even with this design here, you could do it half and half and have split it up into the warm and cool colours.
I think what I would do is maybe log cabin in it, but just do it in this order, in this colour order.
Yes, like a rainbow.
So then you just get that rainbow going out.
Beautiful.
If everybody checks, already half that stock's gone.
I'm not surprised. I will just say as well, not to detract from the beautiful fabric, but with the ribbon, keep the ribbon, because I know it's branded, but it says Free Spirit, which is just a nice, you know, that's
like
just
you and me, Lucy.
Yeah,
Free
just
Spirit.
Free Spirit, and you can just, you know, use that like a little tag.
Nice.
And you just chop it there and sew it on. And it just has a little tag, so like on a little zip pouch or something like that, and it just says Free Spirit. I think
I was talking to... it's funny you should say about labels and things like that. I was talking to... let me get back to name drop here. Jamie Kemp off the Great British Sewing Bee. Oh, yes. And because he's all into his tailoring. And he says that he'll always keep a bit off the selvage and put it in under the cuff, so that if ever it's, you know, any repairs or anything needed, you've always got that reference.
Good thinking. Yeah, like
I thought that was a top tip.
Yeah, that's
it's not even on
good.
the show, but I'm bringing you his top tips. Right. I'm just going to pet it. To the world. Yeah, I know I am, because this is the moment, isn't it, where you sort of go, oh, anything is possible.
I know.
I love this moment.
Yes.
But it scares me too.
Yeah, but it's, you know it's all going to work. You can't go far wrong. And if you do, you just unpick and
how do we do
turn it round. So the first thing that you need to do is pick out 8 of the fabrics that are going to become the central triangle pieces. You're actually cutting more triangles because if you notice there are strips that have, there's one up there, that have the triangles in. So you're cutting quite a few triangles, but all the instructions are in the book. So I'm just going to do the ones that we need around the central square for today. Just show you how easy it is to cut those out.
Coming with the book, you get the template in the book, but if you want a template to keep and use and get different sizes and everything from, then we've got the creative grids for you. It's up to you, isn't it?
Yeah, you just will get so much use out of this, I guarantee. You know, if you're a quilter and you love quilting, there are so many quilt blocks that you can use.
Well, the flying geese is a classic, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm still not sure if you just cut one if it's a flying goose. I'm never sure.
I know, I'm not sure.
Do you know about the old plurals? Geese, goose?
I don't think it matters, really. Everybody knows what you mean. So
Which is unusual.
Just going to pick a few out to make up our...
Are you just randomly going
I'm just
for
randomly,
it,
yeah. I mean, the fun thing about a pattern like this is, well, that sounds awful, but it doesn't require a lot of thought. You know, you can just pick out...
Because everything's going to go.
Everything's going to go. So depending on what your central square is or maybe what the colour of your square is, you might want to pick out different... different colours. Or I know, it's beautiful.
That's my favourite today. You have to check out, says Producer Paul. But look at that, you see, from a distance, because that's been cut in a different place, you get a different idea, don't you? It's lovely. Please check out your baskets. These are going super, super quick. We knew that was going to be the case.
Well. I really like this one. Something quite computer game about that one that I really like.
But I didn't know which one.
Slight geek. No, I don't know. I don't think it really matters. It's just sort of the pixelated, isn't it? Like a slightly pixelated
What's that one where you have to kind of tessellate them all in together? Is that Tetris?
I made a Tetris quilt.
Did you?
Yeah, there was a quilt along. It was really fun.
Did you want this?
It's our picnic quilt. Yeah, we'll do it when we do those, but I'm not going to cut too many at once because I don't want to go off. So I'm just going to line these up. You don't need to cut as many as I am. I'm just doing it for speed. Okay. But obviously keep your strips folded as they come off the jelly roll. Just leave them folded like that because then you can cut. You're cutting more than one at once then, aren't you? So even if you've only cutting one, you're still cutting two at once.
Okay, I'm with you.
So you can do that. So then there is a template in the book. I want to make that clear because, but this does make it easier. So you can use the template, but what I love about this Creative Grids is all I'm doing is, they're 2.5 inch strips. All I have to do is line up the end there along the strip, got your 2.5 strip marking there, so it's not quite even, and then you're just cutting.
Right, I know there's going to be a question on it, so I'm just going to say it now. Because this has been pinking sheared, you take it from the bottom of where it's the deepest cut of that pinking shear. That is your mark that you've lined that up against. I don't know if you can see there. Don't take it from the very, very edge.
No, I mean, there are slight variations. The nice thing is it's quite forgiving.
Yeah.
And you can kind of work it out with your 1/4 inch seam. But yes, you want to ignore the pinking. Yeah. But don't remove, don't go to the bother of removing it. Just ignore and you can see at the top there quite clearly how it's not lining up with the pinked bit.
Yes.
We're doing well with our words today, aren't we, Natasha? But it's slightly underneath that, and that's what you're going from.
We've got all the words.
So, yeah, we've got all the words and all the colours. Jumble. So you just press down and it's got that grip so it keeps it nice and safe. And then I'm going to cut, so I'm going to ask you to just watch your hands. So the first cut I'm cutting 2 ways. So you want to position it in a place where you're still cutting away from yourself. And then we've got our triangles, and then the next cutter just turn the ruler over.
Quick.
Yeah, it's so quick. So how many? I'm not even. Is it 8 or
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 8 triangles in one hit.
Yeah, and that you couldn't. You know, if you're using a template.
Oh, longer.
You'll be there forever. Yeah.
I saw the eye roll.
I know. I just can't
Look,
do it now.
The thing is one of those things, isn't it? If you're just starting out, then, you know, and you're not sure, you think that it's going to be a bit of a layout of money, I can understand why you'd go with a template, and it means that you can just pick up the book and you can just go, and it's great to have. But this makes it much easier.
Yeah, much easier, much quicker, and it's something that you can use again and again. It's not just for this one, you know, pattern.
Yeah.
So
it's just super, super fabulous. Right, producer Paul is busily checking stock for the Heather Bailey by itself. He says if everybody checks out... Oh, there's one left. That's for the Heather Bailey by itself. You can still buy it in the whopping great big bundle with the book, the thread and everything else. But if you just want it by itself, and it is just glorious, and your quilt is a showstopper, $52.95. ZORW94.
it is beautiful. Right, I'm just going to wiggle those out of the way. And I'm going to cut a few of these. Now, I will say, you might notice, as I'm going along, that there are little bits that come off because you've got those pinked edges, you know, it's not completely clean. But I think last time I was on doing a jelly roll, perhaps, or at one time, somebody said, get a lint roller.
Yes.
And roll over the top, you know, to remove all of these little pieces, because it does get very messy. Though my cat very much enjoyed chasing all the little bits of fluff all over the floor.
Just one of them, HP. She likes to get involved.
Yeah.
Hugo's too busy sitting on things. The other thing is if you've got one of those little handheld hoovers.
Oh, yes.
I keep one in my...
And hoover the actual... Do you hoover the actual jelly roll?
No,
or just for after? No, but that's what you could, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could.
So
I always think, why don't I just hoover the dog? It'd be much quicker.
Yes.
And in fact, we did used to have a dog that enjoyed being hoovered.
Oh, really?
Yes. Nice. Yes. And it was much quicker, you know, cut out the middleman. Oh, sorry, producer Paul. Yes, Amy Butler. Let me give you the details for the Amy Butler. This is available by itself, $49.95. If you are about to miss out on the other one, then grab this one. There you go. That was descriptive, wasn't it?
Something today with words, isn't there?
But where are they? Honestly, what is it?
What's wrong
the other
with
day you had no voice, and so there were no words. Today, someone's stolen the words.
So what we're going to do is we're going to arrange the triangles as we're going to position them, and it's made up of 4 corners, which is 2 triangles, and then 3 triangles that you sew along each side of the square, which it'll make sense as I'm laying it out. So
I'm just so happy because it looks like an afternoon tea, you know, where they cut all the little sandwiches into...
do look like little sandwiches. They do look
like little sandwiches.
So you can just arrange them around. Do you want to do some, Natasha?
Oh, I'd love to.
There you go. So you've got 3 there, and then our 2 corner pieces. And they are flapping a bit because we opened the jelly roll, so I haven't pressed anything. But
we'll
take care of that as we're sewing them together.
Oh, these are a bit good, aren't they? Hang on.
They're lovely.
A bit.
So you can, you know, you can cut a variety of different strips if you want to.
Yeah.
She tells you how many you need.
Right.
But I didn't mix it up too much in that central part because I wanted it to be clear that you've got that pattern, and I think if you've got a little bit of repeat, the pattern shows up more than if every single piece was different. So,
and also doing it this way, it's a little bit...
So that's your corner. Yeah, got it.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's 2 there.
We're happy. Oh well, you know.
That's it.
So 1, 2, 3. So it's 3 in the middle bit, and then your 2 corners.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do that one there.
Do you want to, we've only had one of those. Just pop that over there.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so satisfying.
It is. And then do
These
two
are
more
standout
corners.
fabrics, aren't they? Absolutely fab. Oh, hang on, what about one of those?
Yeah.
Do you want one of those? Oh, no, that's a... Forget that bit, that bit.
There we go.
1, 2, we need another one there, and
We
then your
need
2
another
corner bits. We're
corner.
nearly there. Yeah.
And then it's just a case of sewing them together.
This is the bit that keeps me quiet. Oh.
I know. So you can play about, you know, and do as you like. That's it. Oh, no.
No, we need one more, don't we?
No, that's the corner. Hang on.
No,
yeah,
no,
that's the 3, and that's the corner. That's right.
Oh, okay.
It's less than you think. So you're going to sew the 3 together and attach them to the square, and you do that all the way round. So you're attaching all the side bits first, and then you're putting the corners on once these side bits are attached to the square. So we need to sew a lot of triangles together now. And I just keep it laid out, and I don't try to do anything clever at this point. If I want it this particular layout, you're going to get yourself very confused. So I'm just doing literally one at a time. So when you're sewing the triangles together, you want to have a little bit of overhang, you know, by 1/4 of an inch for your 1/4 inch seam. So you've just got the dog ears sort of poking out. With the ruler, I will say there is a way of chopping off the dog ears so that it's all done before you sew them together.
Yeah.
But when I'm doing it from a jelly roll like this and I'm just doing it quickly, I'd rather just trim it off after I sew, but that's personal preference.
Whilst you start to sew, I have a message. Yes. Happy birthday, Nicola in Oxford. She says, morning, ladies. Love the show. Please, can you wish me a happy birthday? Thank you. Yes, Nicola, very happy birthday.
Nicola.
We'd sing, but...
You wouldn't want us to.
No. But no. There was one small glitch over 4 days with a very, very busy schedule at the Great British Sewing Bee. And and it was just an overrun. And so one of my guests to the demo was a little bit late, and I did actually sing. Yeah.
What did you sing?
I sang a pirate song.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Because, you know, sometimes you've got to be worried about copyright, haven't you? So,
right.
Yeah. Because I said, you know, about the only song that I can remember right now is my 3-year-old's pirate song.
Oh.
I said, so I won't bore you with that. And there was a very large bearded man. I mean, it was a very large beard. He wasn't large. And he started heckling, saying, sing, sing, sing.
Oh.
So I did. It was not the highlight of the show.
So as you're sewing these pieces, and you'll have you know, dog ears sticking out. So if you get to that bit, I mean, it's maybe not necessary for this, but it might be. You want to just lift your foot, if you're using your 1/4 inch foot that's got the guide, just so you can go over that piece without, you know, distorting
But you
anything.
don't have to cut it off or anything like that?
No, you can trim it off afterwards if you want to. So now you can give that a press, and just whichever way you've, you know, sewn your seam, you press it the way it wants to go. There's no particular way of pressing. But you can see there how once it's pressed back, you've got that extra bit above the point that's going to end up in your seam allowance. So you don't want your point to be at the top. I think that's a mistake sometimes people make with triangles. You need to have that extra bit of fabric.
So if you had to measure that would be about 1/4 of an inch from there to there, so that then when you use that as your seam allowance, boom, you're absolutely on point there.
Exactly. And then when you're sewing the corner pieces together, you don't need to worry about the dog ears overhanging or anything, because you're sewing it on the straight.
Okay.
So you just want to start from the straight edge, don't start from the angled edge.
Okay.
Start from the straight edge, and that's just
because there is an angle here, do we have to be careful of bias, not putting it out of shape?
Yes, you do, yeah. Especially when you're sewing the triangles together. So if you're, you know, fairly new, or you feel more comfortable, you might want to pin your triangles in place while you're sewing, because if I'm to take this over to my machine, and as I'm sewing I pull, can you see the give?
That stretch.
You've got a lot of stretch in those pieces, so if I pull, you know, just the top one, say, it's going to distort.
Yeah.
Right, I shouldn't even be pulling it now, but You really have got a lot of give in there and you don't want that.
That's the bias,
distortion.
Right, how should I be ironing this? Oh, we've got a new iron. See, I tell her back in Christmas and a new iron happened. What's going on?
I haven't seen that. So just iron it whichever way the seams seem to be going. I'd iron it from the back so you can see where the seams are.
Do you want me to do that?
Yes, if that's,
Is that
if you don't mind.
And then we're going to have a little look at some fabrics, but if I can help in any way. Beautiful fabrics everywhere. So let's have a little look at the kit, because the kit is a whopper, actually. You get 4.5 metres of fabric, and on top of that, you get your 40-piece jelly roll, fabric strip roll, design roll, whatever you want to call it. And you get your book. So you've always got your book, so you can make all the other quilts out there as well. And you get your twin-size wadding, which is beautiful. It's the warm and natural, which is... Oh, I love natural fillings for my quilts. And then that's it. 4.5 metres of fabric, your jelly roll, your wadding, your thread, and your book.
So
Happy days.
In the book, the finished quilt is 68 by 68 inches.
Yeah.
And without borders, I'm going to read it, 54 by 54.
So that's what that is?
Yeah, mine isn't actually perfectly square because I just kept going with the jelly roll strips. I just couldn't help myself. Just kept going. So mine isn't perfectly square, but, you know...
Why not?
Nobody told me I couldn't do that, so that's what I did. And it is a lot of... Yeah, it is a lot of fun. It is, but, you know, it is very meditative.
Oh, that's a good word.
Yeah, but it creates this striking, you know, this striking pattern.
Oh, our new iron's good. Like that.
It's funny how those things become really important when you start... You know, when you start sewing, I see a lot of times people say, oh, look what my husband got me, and it's an iron, and in some circles that would be inappropriate.
But that would be very, very much like, what?
Yeah.
It's like if they buy a Hoover.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And actually, I got really excited when I bought myself a new Hoover. But
well, it can be,
sad,
because...
it?
but a good one makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Especially with the animals we've got. But then you have that horrible thing of well, it's that kind of satisfying thing when you Hoover your house with a new Hoover for the first time.
Yeah.
Or vacuum. We meant to call them vacuums. And then you actually realise just how filthy everything was.
I know my children came home from school the other day and went, oh, everything in the hall is very cream. And it was just because there was so much rubbish on the carpet. And I finally hoovered, and they were like, oh, it's lovely and bright and cream. And I was like,
thanks,
yeah, that's
kids.
our carpet.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the world.
At least they'd noticed I'd cleaned in a way. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but...
I like to think that the longer you leave it, the more satisfying it is.
Yes, that's my excuse.
Yes.
From now on.
That's the one.
That's what I will say.
Yeah. Now, all of these, of course, cut, and this is why we can do this so easily, is because we cut it with... the Flying Geese / Goose / Creative Grids mega thing. It does have another name.
Work.
Yeah. Shall I give you the proper name? 6-inch Flying Geese and 45-degree and 90-degree triangle ruler by Rachel Cross. Rachel Cross, of course, the daughter of the founders of Creative Grids. UK company. If you don't know about Creative Grids, if you haven't heard us rave about them, and we do rave, we do love a creative grid, don't we?
I do, yeah, absolutely love it.
UK-based company. The thing about them is that non-slip grit that's embedded in the actual ruler, so you get a safe cut. It doesn't slip and slide when you cut all over your fabric. It's just fab, and that for me was what allowed me to finally get over my fear of rotary cutters and fabric.
And it's the ease of use as well. You know, they're made by quilters, and you can tell when you start using them, you know, all the measurements make sense. It's all very clear. It's very, very well thought out. And it just makes what's sometimes a bit of a tedious job, you know, more enjoyable.
Well, it all came about because I think they lived near, or they knew someone that had a plastics factory.
Yes.
And they said, what do you do with the leftover fabrics? With the leftover plastics?
Plastic, got fabric on the brain.
Can't imagine why. And so they started using that. Amazing.
Which is
really?
great. Even that in and of itself is just such a great story, isn't it?
And Leicester-based. Hence the fox. I know you've got bees galore, haven't you? Because you're
bees galore.
You're a Mancunian.
I am. Okay, so that's all the piecing, and then I can start putting that together. I'm going to check which way. Oh, not quite. One more. Nearly.
Nearly.
One more.
Almost.
I'd missed
it.
it.
Just not quite.
It's an easy one.
Do you know the other thing that I've noticed about ironing is that you get to appreciate your fabric all the more because you get another look at it.
Yes.
And actually, sometimes I see things and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I hadn't thought about doing it like.
And
like
I think,
that.
is it hot? When you chop fabric up as well, it can look very different than it did
as a whole
before
piece.
You cut it up.
Yeah.
So that's
well, you get
quite
to
nice.
see different bits of it. It's like the one that we said that looked like sort of a pineapple-y, ferny palm tree thing.
Yeah.
But then when you get cut through the middle, it's different all over again.
Yeah.
There we go.
So at this point, not so much for the corner ones, you don't need to worry too much, but the ones that were joined into a strip, you want to cut off the dog ears, especially here where you're going to be joining it to the central piece. So the easiest way of doing that is just to do that.
No rotary cutting.
And just chop it off. I mean, you can do, it's whatever you're more comfortable with, but
when
you've got a lot to do, yes, you can do those as well. I'm just for quickness. But what I want to show you is how I'm going to sew these on, because obviously if you see here, it extends past the square. It's bigger than the square because you've got the dog ears there as well. And you want that central point lining up with the centre of your square. So I'm just going to give that a press just to find the centre. Oh no, sorry, finger press. Finger press.
Oh,
excuse
I was
me.
all getting ready with my new iron.
But well done on the ball.
Thanks.
So I'm just going to line that up. So it's not that edge, it's not that point there. It's the central point of this middle triangle.
Right.
We want to line up with that crease that I've just made. So it just takes a little bit of, helps if you pick the fabric up.
Jiggery pokery.
Yes, and you just have to fold it back. And that's why you want to make your crease, not just at the very edge, you want to go quite far down so that that point is lining up with the crease. And then I'll just stick a pin in there. And then you can just sew. So don't worry about, the overlap at the ends there. Just go with it and
again, there could be a bit of give in the fabric there. So would you pin more or just don't play with it too much?
Just don't pull. Okay. Just don't pull as you're sewing. And actually, I put the pin in the wrong side because what I would do is sew from this side and then you can see where your point is. And that's the quickest and easiest way not to lose your points when you're sewing. If you can sew it from the side where you can see the point, you're not going to lose your point.
Gotcha.
Having said that, with creative grids, because you're cutting so accurate, you're not going, you can pretty confidently just sew a 1/4 inch seam, but for security I like to have that.
It's belt and braces, isn't it?
On that side, yes. And then I have this funny psychological habit of moving it out of the way as I get to the point because I think I don't want to lose my point, and I just... I do it all the time. So then I've got, too much fabric. I've not lost my point, but the point isn't meeting the edge. So then I have to go back over and actually go through the point. So
producer Paul thinks it's hilarious saying, "What's the point, Lucy?"
What's the point? He is so funny. So you want to literally try and get it exactly through that point, or ever so fractionally into the seam.
Like a thread.
Like a thread away from the point, so that you're not going to lose your point when you press.
Okay.
So I'll sew that.
You sew that. I'm going to go look at fabric.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, actually, do you know, I'm going to move that lead out the way as well. Nearly trod on that. Okay, come with me. Now, the book is available by itself. If you have fallen in love with some of the designs out of here, I don't blame you. It's really rather lovely. We had Carolyn on the show, Forster on the show. Lovely lady. In fact, she did one of these on the show. And this is in the book as well. And again, you can do this from a jelly. It's all about the jelly roll. So You know, Lucy's given us a beautiful, beautiful idea as to how you can use your jelly rolls, but stunning ideas throughout the book. In fact, that one's on page 80, if I can just find that. There's, you know, when you just go, there's not a dud one in there. They're all stunning. Stunning. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, you know, the jelly roll that you choose is going to give it all such a different feel. We do love it. So that's your book. But of course, you know, you can then just have little lavender bags or pin cushions like that. So you don't have to do a whole one. Or if you've just got a little bit of a jelly roll left over, maybe you want to just make a little gift. Oh, I like that one. I like the bag. Is this the one with I'll have to see. Right, so that's the book. It is £12.95, JMSP something, 92, I think. Now, with the kits that we've put together for you, we haven't skimped on anything here. So we've given you, and this is one of my absolute favourites, is your needle punched cotton wadding. They call it batten because they're American. That's fine, we'll let them have that. 100% cotton fibres, punched with hundreds of needles. So you're getting everything in here. So you get that 4.5 metres of your backing fabric in that lovely blue. You get your thread, but most of all, look at this, 40 strips. Yeah, 114.95. Now we've got another option for you. And again, you get the book, you get your wadding, you get, now with this one, you get a linear, so you even get a texture with your background. Can you see? I don't know if you can see. So there's interest even in the background here. And this is your Amy Butler and your thread and your beautiful, look at this. We've had these fabrics on air a little bit, but they really are lovely. Again, you've got florals with geometric designs through there. Now, if you want the Amy Butler design roll by itself, we've got that available by itself as well. So if you just want that, just that on its own, nothing else. Unadulterated, there it is, £49.95. We should have one of those little turny tables, shouldn't we? Lazy Susan. £49.95. There you go. That's if you'd like that by itself. The tree is not coming with you. Back to Brennan. Hey, Lucy, I'm coming to get you. Hey, you're whizzing away with this.
Yeah, get in there.
Is this one of your favourite ones that you've made?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. I really, really like it. I'm not going to get to it, am I, because there's time, but as you're building up the quilt, you're doing it in like a jelly roll race fashion. So you're sewing all the strips together, and then essentially you're doing like a courthouse steps. Nice. That's the design of the quilt. And
shall I show that?
Yes, yeah.
Look how easy this design is to follow. That's the other beauty of the book, isn't it? Is that it really is. So look at it's like a bit of maths there. Triangle plus triangle plus triangle, and then that on your corner. Then goes together like that, and then goes together like that, and then you add on your side strips. Bink, bink. And so around and about you go. Perfect.
But don't worry about it being maths because it's done for you. I know you love your maths. I don't. So it's really nice just being able to follow the pattern and not having to worry about how the shapes fit together. They just do.
They just do.
Don't worry about it. Caroline's worked it out for you.
Just does.
Yeah.
Relax. It's okay. No maths involved. Well, that's it, isn't it? I mean, the hard work is done for you. The general cutting, the accurate cutting of your 2.5-inch strips, done. If you're grabbing the flying geese ruler, then that's super easy too.
Yeah.
Lucy, we've got 10 minutes.
Okay, I'm just looking at that seam.
Are you unhappy?
Okay, we'll get to the corner bit.
Or happy?
Happy.
You're happy?
Yeah, happy.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Like
just
to
got
check
to press
on your
it.
Happiness.
So thank you so much.
No.
When you are pressing, that can make a difference. So you can see if I'm going to press it that way, and I'm pulling it, I've got my point. Okay. if I flip it over, if I press that seam t'other way, as I say, the other way, like that, can you see how I've completely lost it?
Oh, no.
And it just makes a sort of bulky... I mean, you're all right, it's all right, but it's not as neat. So you do want to think about which way you're going to press your seam and what's going to give it the neatest look. And it might be different. But sometimes you can have a seam and you've gone, you know, I might have got a little bit extra fabric in between there, but you can fix it by pressing it the other way.
Sneaky.
Sneaky.
Sneaky Brennan.
I am sneaky sometimes. But that's what, you know, it's a good tip that you don't always have to, you know, unpick and re-sew something. You can let the iron be your friend and make it work for you.
Nice.
So, there you
I'm
go.
going to let you press that because you know which way you want to.
Thank you.
And, you know, I'd like it if we were still friends after the show. You pressed it the wrong way.
The wrong way. No, I wouldn't. I'm not that precious about it, really.
No.
But it can make it, you know, it really can make a difference.
But that's a great thing to know, because otherwise you might go through the stress of having to unpick something.
Absolutely, and worth concentrating on, because there have been times when I've made something and I go, no, hang on, I know that point was right, you know, and then I go, oh, it's because I pressed it the wrong way, so I'll just give it a bit of a spray, press it back the other way, and then it looks like it's meant to.
Hang on, spray with what?
Water, just water, yeah.
Not your best press?
No, just if you've pressed it one way to get it to go back the other way, you want to just wet it so it behaves itself. So I can't remember which way round that... It doesn't really matter. Well, yes, it does matter, Lucy.
It always matters. That way.
We might have to mix them up.
That
That
way.
looks right, doesn't it? That looks good. So then it's just a matter of doing that. So, and you can see how... I can't remember which ones I was pulling, but I might have pulled some or I might have distorted some. So what you can do is take your ruler. I'll take my big one. And just trim this off. Yeah, so, I mean, you can just cut it with scissors if you want, but, you know, for accuracy's sake.
But then, hang on. And so what, you're going for 1/4 of an inch?
So what I'm going to do is trim it away from that corner, because you can see how that's, you know, just for whatever reason I've got extra. So to get this nice and neat now, I can trim that away so that when I come to sew this on...
You've got a good guard.
I'm going to retain the corner point of my square. So don't worry about... It doesn't matter how that's ended up there, you just...
Do you cut that back to 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch or...?
Yes, quarter. Yeah, because that's what you're going to sew.
So actually, on your Flying Goose ruler, you've got the 1/4 of an inch...
Oh, you do?
Where because this is the clever thing. You know, we're talking about that embedded non-slip grip. Yeah. That's a 1/4 of an inch around the edge. So it's an extra guide. That's what I mean about they really think these things through.
They do.
And it's only when you come to realise it that you actually appreciate just how well they've done it.
Yeah. And then the other advantage of doing this is you know, you've got a nice straight line to follow then.
Yeah.
When you come to put your other piece on.
Nice. Now, if you want a great big ruler, and actually this ruler is great if you want to cut your strips for yourself, if you've maybe want to make it a bit bigger or mix through some planes or something, then that ruler that we've got on the screen there, $23.95, because of its length, it's 24.5 inches. When you think most fabric is, 44 inches, selvage to selvage, fold it in half, that's 22. That gives you 2.5 inches. So you've got a bit of leeway to fold it in half and then cut your 2.5 inch strips. Exactly. If you wanted to make, a whopper. Yeah, and for your binding and for, you know, for lots of things, it's really useful to be able to have that. And say you wanted to make this pattern again, and if you use your jelly roll already and you're wanting to cut strips from your fabric, to use that. Just as a note, the reason that you've got that bit extra is because you don't want to line up the bottom of the ruler with the edge of the fabric. No. You want to line it up with one of the lines on the you want to run in as well with
exactly,
with
because when you're cutting it, you don't want to be cutting from the very... You know, it's not safe to have that be the edge of your fabric. You want to cut from sort of that, you know...
Again, well thought out.
Incredibly well thought out. So we're going to attach our corner bits. Just pull a thread out of there. And again, it's just the principle's exactly the same, but now I don't need to crease because I'm working with the point of the square. So I'm going to line up the line with the point of the square and put a pin in it there. Nice. And again, not worried about the dog ears. You can trim those with the ruler, like I said, if you prefer, but
it's entirely up to you.
It's up to you.
I've only got a few minutes left.
Or trim them off after. All right, well, I might get one done. Okay, you can't stop me sewing. Just like that. I'll just carry on.
I'm not trying.
We might run out of time. I'll just carry on.
Hey, look how many we cut, actually. There's loads.
Yeah,
there is. And that's the joy of it, isn't it? This is something... How long did that quilt take you to make?
I mean, it was a couple of days. Yeah, a couple of days. But
so it could be a weekend?
Yeah, but the cutting's not, not a lot. And I didn't quilt it heavily.
Yeah.
I just quilted it quite lightly.
It's beautiful.
But you can piece this. You could piece this in a day, easily.
It's all the finishing touches, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
I always make the patchwork front and say, yeah, I'm nearly done.
Yeah, and then you remember you've got to baste it, and you've got to So there's different bits, but it's not. But the speed at which it comes together is just check. I'm happy with that. Otherwise, I'd be like, right, bye.
No, do you know what? Someone very clever once told me that sometimes you can cheat it with the iron.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. You can cheat it with the iron. You can.
What a top tip.
Or open. Either side or open can make a difference with your points. But doing that trimming bit first really helps as well. So just trimming it back so you know that point is going to be a 1/4 inch away from the edge. And if it's not quite straight, don't worry about it. It ends up in your seam anyway. So
nice.
But yeah, it makes it really, really easy. And then you can see how that's going to come together and just create this really beautiful section in the middle. And then you could another thing that you could do is a free motion quilting pattern in the centre there.
Nice,
that would be really nice if you've got time to do, like you said, use a print of a flower. You could quilt a flower in the centre there as well.
Got 2 minutes.
Or hand quilt a design. Yes, I'll do.
Yes,
just keep going.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Shall I just show how to keep going? Actually.
Yeah, if you like.
Do you want me to show that? Because if you have I can't do it with those ones. But with some of the other triangles, what you do is create this section where you have, the triangles overlapping. And you're going to slot that in. So if you pass me one of the strips, please. So you have to piece this into your strips.
Oh,
okay?
I see what you mean.
So it's not... Can we get that? So where you've got the triangle sections...
So it's not the whole length?
In the border, it's not the full length. Because when you're adding this on, there's no measuring. You're just adding the strips to the side and cutting, adding and cutting, adding and cutting. So you need to piece these triangles into the strip of fabric.
Yeah.
So you just take your ruler and you just, cut your jelly roll, and then you just add the strip in the same way as you add the triangles. And what I did was pieced it in the same fabric, which I quite liked. So rather than it being a different fabric on, it's the same on either side.
It's like a sandwich. You've got your bread either end and your whatever in the middle, you're filling in the middle.
And if you cut, you can cut it at the, both ends at one time or whatever, so that one end will work with your triangles. But it does take a little bit of getting your head round, the angles, but she explains it very, very well. All the diagrams are really helpful in the book as well.
Lucy, thank you.
Very well.
Stunning quilts, and that's not all you're here for today.
No.
Oh, no. What are we going to be doing at 11?
We're doing a lovely Pearalicious cushion. Oh, you can show.
Hey, it's all going pear-shaped at 11.
It was
That's what we're doing at 11. It's fab, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good hit of colour, isn't it?
It's a really fun design. I love these fabrics as well.
Everyone loves a
bit
pear.
of applique we should be doing.
Great pear. Yeah. Right, Lucy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I will see you in an hour. Go and grab yourself a cup of tea, maybe a coffee. It's up to you. I'm going over here. I'll see you in a bit. Right. Oh, hey, you know what I haven't mentioned yet, and that is the competition. Oh, we do love a competition. I say competition, you don't have to know anything. You just have to text in. It's a text to win. So here's all you have to do is text SEW to 66777. That's it. T's and C's are all on the website. You have to be over 18. Shouldn't cost any more than your standard network rate. And you can win an Elna 240 EX sewing machine. Hooray! We like that. We like that an awful lot. Now, the book. If you're after just the book, then you can get just the book indeed. It's £12.95 and it's absolutely gorgeous and filled to the brim with absolutely gorgeous designs, hints, tips. Look at that. Every page, doesn't matter which page you go to, you're going to get a gorgeous design. And all of your step-by-step instructions, they're all in there. Yeah. So that's £12.95. But if you're after the Heather Bailey kit, remember you get the book in there, you get your wadding, you get your back, it's everything. It's the complete kit and caboodle. Then this is your Heather Bailey. First time to wear with the Heather Bailey. £114.95. We're looking at getting more Heather Bailey, but at the moment, this is the first time that I've had it. This is first time ever. Sold out by itself. This is now the only way to get it, but you won't be disappointed because you've got the backing, the book, the wadding, the everything. The everything. Now, if you want Amy Butler in full kit and caboodle style, then here we go. Again, book, backing, batting, thread, and your Amy Butler. Let me give that a little... Beautiful blues in here and some corals and sort of aqua colours as well. Again, this is a 40 strip, 2.5 inch strip there. So £127.95. Oh, we've lost the picture. Hey, it's obviously snowed all over it. £127.95 there. Now, after the break, we're going to look about those finishing touches. So whether it be pom-poms, whether it be flowers, whatever it be, we've got it ready for you after the break. So do stay with us, don't go anywhere, grab yourself a cup of tea, and we'll be back after this incredibly short break. See you in just a moment.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more.
There are many different ways you can buy from us here at the Sewing Quarter. You can order from us by calling our free phone number at 0800 112 4433 and talk to the team at our UK-based call centre. Alternatively, there are other ways you can buy from us. You can go online and shop through our website at www.sewingquarter.com. You can even watch the show there and shop as you go. You can check out as many times as you like throughout the day and only pay a small fee of £2.95 postage and packaging for the whole day. We also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all products excluding custom-cut fabric. Our friendly UK-based team will help guide you through every step.
Did you know there are multiple ways you can contact us, even if it's just to ask a question? Our friendly team are always on standby. You can call our customer service team at 0800 112 4433, email us at help@sewingquarter.com, visit our Facebook page, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter at Sewing Quarter, and even message us through our website, and our presenters will answer your questions live on air.
The Sewing Quarter website is simple and easy to use. You can view a live broadcast of the show on our homepage. Get instant access to our online shop, which has a wide range of wonderful products for you to choose from. You can also enjoy a selection of projects and guides which we have on offer to help you enhance your skills and gain valuable tips. Watch the live shows and you can buy the product which is currently being shown on air. You can even message the studio to ask our presenters or team any questions you might have. Below, you'll find all the products from today's show for you to look at and purchase. On the right of the screen, next to today's products, you will find our simple program guide listing all upcoming shows. So, join us today at sewingquarter.com.
welcome back. Now I promise you those finishing touches. They make all the difference, don't they? And we've done various shows where we've shown you how to make your flowers, how to make your little finishing touches, your rosettes. In fact, these were out of the Amy Butler that we've just had on the shows. Some of those, the pattern ones. Everybody loves a flower. So let's start. If you want... The time to use one of these is if you want exactly the same petal every single time. Now we've got a variety of styles, shapes, sizes, and this one here, let's show you that one. There we go. This is going to give you an idly biddly one. Now this is all about your kanzashi, that's what this is called. This is going to make your round petal flower there like that, but each of those petals, so the flower maker there makes one petal, and then you know that every single petal that you make will be exactly the same. It's incredibly easy to use. Fold your fabric in half, fold it into there, stitch through, and it's stitching by numbers. And then take it out and pull it, and you get a perfect, perfect finish every single time. A warning on these. Oh, so the flower makers, once they've gone, they're gone. We will not be getting them back. That is it. So if you've always wanted them, now is your time to get it. It is one of those when it's gone things. So we've got the different sizes. Let's go through all the different makes and sizes and this and that. So I don't know if you can see on here, but it's got different numbers. So you start on number 1, and then you work your way through, and the thread then just lies through that groove, so you can then just unclip it, and you've got the absolute perfect flower every time. Now there we go, that's the size that that's going to make, and this is your large gathered petal there. Isn't that lovely? But it just means that every single time it's going to be the same. Put it in a frame, put it as the centre of your quilt, put it on a hairpiece, put it on a bag, just decorate. I like to decorate gifts with flowers. So there you go, look, you've got all your bags there. $6.95 for this. Now the next one is a different shape. Oh, look, you see, look, different shape there. So it depends what shape you're after, but when they're gone today. That's it, they are not coming back. That's it. There it is. Now, of course, kanzashi is your traditional Japanese art form. It was originally created for hairpieces, for decorative hairpieces. But, of course, we've taken it, we've used it, and we've decorated everything with it. So that picture there is your actual size of your flower that you're getting. So 75 mil. There you go. Nice. Awesome. Ooh, look at this one. Oh, there's your front. And that is the design, but there we go, you get a better effect there. Nice. Very nice. Incredibly easy to use. So look, you can see, fold your fabric in half. You can, and this is the great thing, this is your scrap leftover clearance thing. You just make your flowers out your scraps. You just trim around the edge, sew through in order, pull it out, add it on. It's that easy, so easy. $7.95 for your round petal, your large round petal. Now, oh look, idly biddly diddly one. Now this one is great. I actually made a little pair of earrings, tiddly tiny pair of earrings, but this is great for this. But look how delicate the petal is. Look at that. So standardising the size of each of those petals so you get that absolute perfect finish. That's what you're getting. But look at that. Look how, oh, every single time, exactly the same. So you can do those multiple petals. And it does look exquisite. And so then if you are doing something like on the front here, a cap or a hairpiece or something like that, maybe you want... then, you know, you've got that uniformity. And it's a great excuse to get your buttons out to put in the middle. Woohoo! There we go. Now, last one to show. Oh, no, I've got 2 more like that, and then we get the roses. Now, this one, super easy. So this one gives you your orchid. Really pretty. But look, you can see on the instructions, fold your fabric, cut round the edge. So that kind of clips into the fabric, so it's not going anywhere, which means that you can then easily cut round, and then you just stitch round, pull tight, and add it on. So you just keep going. If you are adding these 2 baskets, we are not reordering. Please check out your baskets. That's my order to you. Add it to your order and check out. I'm not ordering you. That came out a bit wrong. Oh, bossy boots. Here we go. This is your last one of that style, and then we'll look at the roses. So this one here, that is your, let me just check. Is that your daisy? Yeah, daisy large. Large daisy. 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 But look at the detailing and the pleating. $6.95. You do it in different colours. But again, really easy. You just follow the numbers. And this is one of those things. And actually, they look beautiful either way around. That's it, kind of back to front, if you will. And that's the front of it. So you get 2 different looks in one. And every single petal will be the same. And that's the beauty of it. Beauty. Right, now, I'm going to move those over there because roses, the classic rose. Are these coming back as well, or are these not? No, when they're gone, they're gone. They're gone. We've got 3 different sizes, so you can decorate your bags, your hair pieces, whatever you want. Maybe you're making a fascinator for a wedding or something. Let's go large. Go large or go home. Right. Recommended fabric size is approximately 12 by 54 centimetres. That's 4 3/4 by 21 inches. So that's what, just under, well, if you take off the selvage, then that is half of a ½ metre. So that's going to be what, you could do this out of your fat quarters. Yeah. And what you do is you unravel this. So you unravel it and you fold you slot your fabric in, and then you refold it. And then you sew around it, and you get that. Isn't that glorious? So slide in, refold, sew round. Ba-ba! $7.95. It's a technical term. Ta-da! Let's go for the middle size one. So you can get the 3 different sizes. So you can get that graduation of size. But just, I mean, this is that professional finish, isn't it? You are buying something that gives you that professional touch. And that's the beauty of it. Again, now this one is suggesting 4 inches by 16.5 inches in terms of fabric length. So if you've got any of your jelly rolls, you can sew them together. You could have 2-tone, couldn't you? But there are your details down there. Perfect. All full instructions. It says a magical plate that helps you create beautiful roses with your favourite fabric remnants. They have me a magical plate. And a little diddly tiny one. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Now, 8 centimetres by 29 centimetres is all you need. No marking. Once you've cut it to size, that's it. You then just fold it in, bish, bash, bosh, and sew. It's lovely, isn't it? Really lovely. That is it. That's your rose. When these are gone, they're gone. These are not being reordered. They will be replaced by something completely new in our warehouse. We're getting a new warehouse too. Whoop, 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 whoop. There we go. So please check out your baskets. When it is gone, it is gone. Did you want to look at the bow maker before we move on? As we are on a roll with these. Now, these are quick and easy. I like this. Just wind and voila. Make your own bows. Nice. Again, not reordering. But under £5, you can make your own bow. And actually, you can do as much of a bow as you wish. If you want to go all out, or if you want to just do a little one, or if you want to just do a tiddly tiny one, then it's entirely up to you. And actually what this will work beautifully with are the ribbons. And I'll show you a few ribbons. Create unique and beautiful bows with your favourite ribbons and fabric. That's what it says. So it gives you the amount of fabric that you need there. So you can personalise. There's something nice. I mean, if you've made, maybe you English paper piece your own gift boxes or something like that, just to have that fabric finish is really nice. I like to wrap gifts often in, you know, brown parcel stuff, but then put a beautiful flower or something on it so it comes all about that embellishment that it's embellished with. Now, let's have a look then at your ribbons to make it with. This is a big old ribbon. Now, this is your double-faced polyester satin. 20 metres, that's going to be a ribbon or two, isn't it? $14.95. Gosh. FLGQ 49. That is a lot. And look at that. Super shiny. Maybe you're doing your ribbons for Christmas. Who knows? Then red is a fabulous one to add in. Now this is your double-faced polyester satin again. Now this one is your 15 mil. 20 metres of 15 mil. Yeah, you get a lot there too, don't you? So you could start to layer up. So fast and furious this hour, get it. When it's gone on those flower makers. But get your ribbon so that you're able to make really beautiful ones. $8.45. BKGQ07. 20 metres. That's like 25, well, hang on. What are we looking at? 30 odd pence a metre, something like that. Now, this is your tiddly tiny one. This is your 10 mil. So this is smaller again, so you can be layering up those ribbons. And again, 20 metres. Yeah, look at that. $6.45 for 20 metres. When I think how much, I've often paid £1 a metre for ribbon and thought I was getting a good deal. 20 metres there for $6.45. Hello. Yes. 2 more to go. Oh, I love these because they've already got the detailing in this. So this is 15 mil. But look, you've already got that faux stitch in there. That's your grosgrain ribbon in black and ivory. $4.95. And actually, I made a little rosette. Can I show you very quickly? Over here. So the Amy Butler fabric that we had earlier on the last show, and then your little rosette out of your grosgrain. And that is made out of the blue that we've got here. Aha! Method to my madness. There we go. 15 mil across there. And that is your sky and ivory. Under £5 for all of that. 4 metres of that, $4.45. Now, if you want to get those little detailed edges and things like that, these are the scissors to go for. Now, the reason that I brought these onto the show is because next up we're going to show you some pom-pom makers. And the thing with the pom-poms, which we'll show you later, is that you need a really sharp pair of scissors to get in and cut. And these are my absolute faves in terms of that. $13.95, and I'll show you those in more detail. Look, pull that down, spring-loaded. So the effort is only on there, and then they open up. So if hand strain is something, it cuts that down. Maybe you just don't like how scissors feel across your thumb or something like that. None of that. You've got a super soft grip there, and you can really get in. These are great little snips. Get in there with the little snips. Super sharp. Do be careful with them. And then it's done. A bit like it opens and shuts a bit like your garden shears. Just brilliant. So $13.95. These are my absolute tippity tip-top thread cutters. They are super sharp. You're going to need those if you're going to be doing any of your pom-poms, which we'll get to. Now, we've looked at all of the kanzeshi style flowers. Maybe you want some inspiration. Maybe you want to see, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with it? We've got 2 books here on kanzashi. But it's, yeah, they laugh at me upstairs when I say that it's a coffee table book, but it truly is. The photography in here is just exquisite. and the inspiration. So it gives you a little bit of the history about this as a Japanese art form, how it came about, and now what we do with it. So materials and techniques. So you can see you've got an Amy Butler type fabric there, you've got a geometric one. So choosing your fabrics. For me, this is all about using your leftovers. Really handy to use your leftovers. Now this gives you techniques and tips as to how to do these if you don't have the things that we've just shown you, the flower makers that we've just shown you. The flower makers that we've just shown you mean that every single one of your petals will be exactly the same shape. Whereas with this, you'd have to actually measure. There'd be measuring, there'd be more effort in that. But these are the little earrings that I made, which were really lovely and really easy to do. And so, you know, whether you're just getting a notebook and making it a bit more special or a hairpiece, then it's all there. Or maybe you're zhuzhing up a pair of flip. Hey, where are my flip-flops I zhuzzed up? Have we got those anywhere? Oh, you're wearing them, Director Tim. Oh, no, Director Tim's on there. Oh, hello, they've all swapped over. It's award-winning Director Mike up there wearing my flip-flops. It's fine. We share on here. It's all good. Oh, yeah, no, and I did the bunting as well, didn't I? I made the bunting with the grosgrain. With the grosgrain ribbon and then the flowers and then the bunting. It's pretty. Especially, actually, I know that we're all about Christmas, but after Christmas, you know, when you have to take everything down and it all looks a bit bare? Something like that. Just cheers you up a bit. We have another book, which was your Japanese fabric flowers. Again, lots of inspiration. Oh, this has got the lily pad ones that I love in here. So this is under £10. Could have been another under £10 out, Producer Paul. What were we thinking? What were we thinking? Still only pay 1p&p. If you bought lots in the first hour, you are quids in. Oh, now this one, we'll talk you through. Yeah, look, how to use, I think this is the one. How to use all of those that we've just shown you. So if you've just bought any of the flower makers, then this gives you step-by-step how to use them. And then where to go with them next. And the sort of accessories to go with it. Yeah, that's my favourite one. Look at that, the lily pad one. I think it's beautiful. Stock warning. What? On what? On the rose maker, the small rose maker. Running very, very low. When they're gone, they're gone. With the rose makers and all of the petal makers, when they're gone, they're gone. So please check out your baskets just to confirm that order. There you go, let me show you the small. Where's it gone? Oh, it's so small, I've lost it. No, here we go. This is your small petal maker here. Stock warning on this. Please check out your baskets. If you have it in your baskets, please check out your baskets. Don't miss out. I'd hate for anyone to miss out. That would just be really sad. This is the most popular out of them all. But then you see roses, isn't it? It's that classic. But it does mean please check out your baskets. Please, please, please check out your baskets. Don't miss out. £5.95. There you go. Right. Now, fat quarters, because you're going to need fabric with which to do all of these. So we've got a little selection of fat quarters for you. Let's have a look at this one first off. So we've got a nice spot going on here. But you've got all sorts here. So you've got your red spot. You've got your blue hearts. Well, it's blue with hearts on, navy with your hearts on. These are really bright and vibrant, aren't they? Look at that red. Polka dots are timeless, aren't they? You know, they're just... There's never a year we go, oh no, polka dots, not today. Not today, thanks. In your navy and white, and then boom. I love navy and pink together. I'm glad they popped that in. I know that red and navy is your classic, but I do like navy and pink together. And then look at that. So you can mix and match. And then with your little snippets, you can make your flowers out of them. So all of those for £14.95. This is your So Easy Hearts, Dots and Spots. And there you go. And it will come to you all beautifully folded and Yeah, use the ribbon. Never throw that away either. So that is one of them. And then let's have a look. Oh, flowers and stripes. Very nice, very nice. We've got 6 fat quarters here for these as well. Here we go. So these are the other So Easy ones that we've got. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? There's your florals. It is a little bit nautical, but sort of floral nautical, if you see what I mean. But you see, then you can mix it in. So perfect if you're quilting and you want to get those designs that have that continuation, that have that theme running through. But also the way that these go together is that you've got kind of matched colourways. So you've got your lighter stripe there, and then oh, that's nice, isn't it, on kind of a denim-y background. But then you've got your pinks. So you've got a dark blue, mid-tone blue, and then your pinks. So if you're quilting, then that gives you your dark, your medium, and your lights. Because you know how sometimes I say that you need those 3 different colours? So $14.95 for that. NGGQ 38. But of course, perfect as well for your bag making, bag linings, all those sorts of things. There it is. $14.95 NGGQ 38. And again, all beautifully put together. Now, oh, yes. The last one is a Dashwood fat quarter range. 7 in this one. And this is how it's looking. So because it's all part of the Dashwood range, you know that the colours are all going to go. So you've got the flowers there. I don't know if we're going over... Are we going overhead for this one? Might be easier, yeah, because I want to show you all the colours. Yeah. Because these are really beautiful. Because the 7 that you're getting here, we haven't had Dashwood for a little while. But I'm enjoying these, because then, look, you get that hit of mustard. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Which you're picking out of this one here. So kind of a mustardy orange there, which is picked out in the flowers there. But then you've also got the purple that's in there. So again, it's all working beautifully. And then you've then got your deeper blue there, picked out in there. And then you've got the common theme with your actual fabric design there. Then... there we go, there. You've got that nice organic-y stripe coming in. But then if you want to keep that stripe, look, you've then got the stripe coming through in the petals there. And then those colours are linking up with that colour, which is also that colour's linking in with that colour. It's all there. That colour's linking in with that stripe there. And then you've got purples all the way through. It's beautiful. And the last one then... which ties, I know you get all of these, which ties it all together, is your pink. It's lovely, isn't it? Because then you've got the pink that's in there, and then you've got, well, this is kind of the one that ties all of these together, because it's got little stripes of all of it. It's got that mustard in there, it's got everything in there. And so as a whole, as a collection, it's really beautiful and works gorgeously together. And this is from Dashwood. So if you're a Dashwood fan, then maybe add this into your collection. $26.95 for that. YLFW34. Hurrah. Now. We all have a good old yarn, don't we? Hey. Ba-dum-dum. Right. Let's have a look at the cornflower. Not this one, is it? Oh, that's Blue Layette. Starlight. Which one's my cornflower then? I'd have thought that was cornflower. What have they called this one then? Is it this one? That's Sapphire. Starlight. Are you sure it's not that one? We'll get the colours right in a minute. So this one's baby blue. This is baby blue. Okay, let's start with baby blue. We can argue about colour all day. This is baby blue. Now this is just cotton. It's lovely and soft, perfect for your pom-poms. This is your crochet yarn. Should you be a crocheter, then absolutely beautiful, so soft as well. About 155 meters in there. That's amazing, isn't it? That's a lot. So £3.45 for about 155 meters in there. If we had touch vision, then you'd know that this is just so soft. So if you are crocheting with it, it's going to be super soft for those babies. Now, Starlight is next. This one here is your Starlight. But we might have recalled it cornflower. We might have done. You never know. There you go. So £3.45 for that one. And again, beautiful, lovely and soft. Shall we go baby pink? Let's go baby pink. So look how beautifully that goes with the blue there. Actually, they're all working really beautifully together, aren't they? So this is your rose. We might have called it something different. There we go. So Natura is the brand. It's just cotton, and it's your crochet yarn, and this is your pink. That's your rose. And then this one, I've got this called Sapphire. I don't know what you've got it down as. Navy. To everybody else, to you and me. There you go. A Sapphire, not Sapphire, producer Paul, with a Z, as a Sapphire. Let's see, Sapphire. £3.45. Beautiful. Oh, and then black. I think we can all agree that's black. And again, here it is. Size 5, 100 grams of that. Yeah, it's a big one, isn't it? It's a different, it's still from the same company, DMC. But this is just a little bit differently put together. Size 5. 100% cotton. There it is. Ta-da! £5.95. Now, next up, the whatty what? Oh, texts. Oh, text to win. Sorry, producer Paul's saying something like I'm being a bit thick. If you would like to be in with the chance of winning an Elna 240EX sewing machine, here's how. Text sew to 66777. Text should cost no more than your standard network rate and over 18s only. All T's and C's on the website. But there we go. You could be in with a chance of winning that. Hey, we've never run a competition like that before, haven't we? That's fab. Now, something from our first hour that was incredibly popular. You do need to check out your baskets, but we have a few left. So we thought that anybody who, you might not have got up quite so early, don't blame me. Here they are. These are your plastic pellets. These are your heavy grey plastic pellets. This is what a kilo of them looks like. That's what you're getting for your money, for your £6.95. Whether you are filling your doorstops with these, whether you are making a tablet stand or anything like that with these are absolutely perfect for it. It means that, unlike when you use rice or anything like that, you can wash them. That can happen. Also means that you're not going to get little grubs or anything in with your rice, because apparently that's a thing. Who knew? It just makes it incredibly easy to use. So £6.95. We wanted to bring you back in this hour because it's taken us a long time to actually get these. Actually really therapy just to run your hands through. But £6.95, we do still have a few left. So if you didn't check out your baskets and you wanted them from earlier, from our under £10 hour, then £6.95 gets you that today. KAPI 45. Ta-da! Pom-pom makers. Now, that is why we brought you the yarns, because we wanted to also bring you the pom-pom makers. Now, we've got various sizes. Hey, look at these now. This is the Whopper. This is the big one. So this is your extra, sorry, it's not going to say Whopper on your screen. It's going to say extra large or jumbo. Now, You know, I was saying about having really nice, strong scissors. Here's why. You wrap it around. You open it all up and you wrap it around. Now, this means that if you're maybe doing pom-poms on hats or anything like that, or, you know, you can make those, you can knit those winter hats that have sort of a pom-pom where the ears are. Then you get, again, it's about getting that continuity of size, isn't it? So you wrap it around, wrap it around, wrap it around, pop them together, and this is where you need those super sharp scissors, because in they go, and if it makes it easy to cut, then that's fab. Then you wrap your thread round, and you are good to go. And then it just comes out, and then you just floof and trim. That's a technical term. Floof and trim. Now, it might be that you wish to do different colours. And that's okay, because you can see here, it's got like different colours there. You can mix and match it up with your different colours. That could be a little bit difficult, but in here, you'll notice there are different grooves to show you how far along you've come. So you can accurately do like a quarter in one colour, quarter in another, which is absolutely great. £10.95. It just opens up and off you go. It's fab. Give it a go. That's your pom-pom maker. That's your jumbo one. And then they start to come in double packs. So you get two sizes here, and these are the size of them. So this is your large. I want to say large and medium. Yeah, no, just say large on there. So 65 millimetres and 85 millimetres. 85, 65. And again, exactly the same principle. Open up, wrap around, cut, pop your thread around, tie them together. But you're getting that continuity of size every single time. If you've got groups, if you've got classes, anything like that, then again, it's giving them that confidence that what they're making is going to look fabulous. Just brilliant. So £7.95. If you've bought anything from the first hour, make the most of your P&P. Do that. Oh, yes. These are great. We've had lots of fun with these. See, they just open up like that. So it does just make life easy. So you would wrap, 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 wrap. Just wrap it around. There's your thread. Wrap it around. Close that down. Open up the other side. Wrap it around. And then you see, you put them together like that. And then you get your scissors. And you go through that groove and you cut all through there. You can even, that's why you need thin scissors, because they need to get through that groove there. You cut all the way around and then pop your thread round, pull it together, and then take it apart. That's how they work. Boom. Now we're getting smaller. Here we go. These are your medium size. Oh no, they are small. Sorry, they are small. But then we've got extra small. But you see, you could use up any old extra yarn that you've got. Do them on scarves, on the corners of cushions. You can make all sorts. You can make Christmas decorations with them as well. Nice. £5.95. And you get the two. So you get the two there, 35 and 45. So NTGQ 65. Full instructions on the back as well. Just keep your packaging. Maybe you want the diddly tiny ones. Look at these. Oh, these are super tiny, but look at the serving suggestion they've given you. Little Christmas wreaths. Pretty, hey. So £5.95. And you're getting 25mm and a 20mm one. These are tiddly tiny ones. But again, you get that continuity of size. You could even make yourself some little Christmas pom-pom earrings, if you were so inclined. But it just makes things fun and pretty. Hurrah! Now, okay, last things to show you are these. Now, again, these are your tassel makers. This is your large size. Again, you can decide, you can unscrew that bit there and you see that sliding scale along there as to how big you want your tassel to be. And then you wind, and you wind, and you wind. So this is about time saving. Again, no hassle tassel is what we like to call these. But again, if you're making multiples, maybe they're going on the corners of your cushions, or you're doing a trim, or you're making your own trim or something like that, you want them the same. This is how it's very easy to not look professional if you don't do things the same, if they're not exactly the same size. Maybe you want to embellish bags. I like it as just a key ring. I like that idea. Lots of uses. Really easy. Again, full instructions on the back there, $11.95. Is this when it's gone? It's gone too. And we might get this back. We just don't have very many of these. So if you've always wanted a large tassel maker, it's $11.95. Grab it today. We've got 2 different sizes. I like these on the corner of cushions. That's where I like a tassel. But then actually, because we've got a few sort of outsidey doors in our house, and I don't have them all on a key ring, but I do like the idea of having a tassel on an old style key. I don't know, it's just something nice about that. I like that as the tie on the bag there. I don't know what it is, but it's pretty. I don't know. Oh, hey, look at the bag on there. That's tassel-tastic, that is. All these different uses for tassels. But this easily makes your tassels with embroidery thread, woolen yarns, and other types of yarn as well. Perfect, $11.95. XCGQ78. Hurrah! Let's recap. Okay, I've got stock warnings. Medium rose now. Okay, this is now the one with the least amount of stock. So if you are after the ability to make roses super easy, super fast, and the same size. It's like when you see roses decorated on cakes. Gorgeous. But you want that uniformity of size. If everybody checks out, there's 2 left? Is that it? We're not reordering this. When it's gone, it's gone. $6.95. JGGQ53. Now, hang on, because Producer Paul, when we came to air, you said that actually the small one didn't have very much stock left. We're just going to check and see where this one's at. Ooh. So, all instructions on the back. It tells you what size fabric to cut down to. So, slot your fabric in, refold. It wants to fold how it was folded. So slot your fabric in, fold it back up again. And then you just sew around that edge, and that's what you get. It's so clever. If I had to try and work out how to do that without this, it'd be a right old mess. But now every time the same. Looking fab every single time. So we have 3 different sizes. I've just shown you the medium. Then this one is the small one here, $5.95. I think actually the collection of all 3 is the way to go. If you're lucky, really, is it getting that? Now, this is your big one. What's the Cockney line, Sam? Was it Barry McGuigan for a big one? Yeah. $7.95. 5 left. Is that all? 4 left. Oh, another's gone. Remove the batten. Twist the fabric into a circle and sew. Yeah. Look, really easy peasy instructions to follow on the back. Beautiful. This is your large size. We've got 3. I think the 3 together would be beautiful. Just imagine a big, medium, and a little, or a big one and then 2 small ones either size on the front of your of a clutch or something like that. That'd be beautiful, wouldn't it? Right, grab those if you can. But look, as a collective, beautiful. Okay. Dashwood fabric. We haven't brought this one to air very often. I've only seen it about once, I think. But, as you can see, perfect for your flower making because you've got that contrast of smaller designs, which then show up within the flowers, but you've also got that continuity of colour. I was saying earlier, this one kind of holds them all together because in this one you've got all the colours. you've got that pink background, but then you've also got the purples, the mustards, the light blues, the dark blues, the whites. You've got all of them through. So that's why this collective of 7 fat quarters works so well together. Because then as you work your way through, you then get in here, you get those beautiful pink. Then these lines here are taken from this design here. But this blue here is in there. But then you've got this hit of mustard, which again you see in there and over here. And then these little ditzy flowers in here are over here. It's just lovely. That just all ties in beautifully. You've got the contrast of these 2 different designs and different colours. And then this fabric, like this fabric over here, has all the colours. So you can use it beautifully together. It's a fat quarter. If you don't know how big a fat quarter is, let me show you. So if you think a piece of fabric would normally be selvage to selvage across from there to there. And then if you had a metre of fabric, it would be to there. So a fat quarter is a quarter of that. So they cut it in half, they cut it into quarters. That's what a fat quarter is. That's how much you're getting. So if you're getting 7 there, 7 fat quarters, you've got nearly 2 metres of fabric. Oh, I've got to try and fold it again. Lots of you multi-buying. What are they multi-buying on, Producer Paul? This? Oh, yeah. Don't miss out on this. It's gorgeous, isn't it? We don't bring Dashwood to wear that much. So it's really nice to see it. I know that Dashwood has a hardcore fan base that when they see Dashwood, they just have to have it. Just have to have it. But there it is. That's what it's looking like coming to you. $26.95 there. YLFW34. But again, working with confidence. You've got mid-tones, you've got dark tones, you've got pinks, then you've got that bright mustard coming through, and then you've got these 2 here and here that tie them all together. But you see, equally, you know that you can work with, say, that one and that one together, and it'll work. You can work with it with confidence. I like these 2 together. I think they're very nice. It's charming, isn't it? It's lovely. Really nice. And you've got bigger patterns, smaller ditsies. Oh, it's just really well thought out. Really well thought out. Oh gosh, over half of that stock gone. So if you do have it in your basket, please check out. Don't miss out on any of these. What to look at next? So Easy Floral. Yeah. Now this has been nicely put together, I have to say. Often we're told with quilting you need a dark tone, a mid-tone and a light tone, and that's exactly what they've done here. Exactly what they've done there. So you've got your navy for your dark tone here. So you've got your stripe, and then these flowers you then get in more detail in this fabric there. And then you get your mid-tone. Again, you've got your stripe and then your floral design tying in beautifully. So that's your mid-tone. And then you've got your light in your pink. So it might be, I mean, I'm saying quilting, but it might be that actually you want to make a bag and you want to have that for the outside and that as a contrast trim or a lining. I don't know. But that's how it's coming in sort of 3 sets of 2. Well, it's actually coming like that, looking all beautifully wrapped. But when you take it to pieces, that's what you're getting. So your stripe and then you're matching your complementary floral. It's lovely, isn't it? But maybe you are using it all together. Who knows? Let's have a look. Oh, a stock warning on the large petal. I've got a few large petals, Producer Paul. Which particular large petal would you like me to warn everybody about? Pink one, this one here? This one or the red one? That one? This one? Okay, so the daisy, the large daisy, I have a stock warning for you. We have least in stock of this now, and when they're gone, they're gone. So if you've seen one and you've got a project in mind that you just need that flower for, grab it now. $6.95. AHGQ03. There it is. But actually, if you can see on the back, and I love that about this, firstly, you get exactly the same size petal every single time. So the hard work is done for you. You're not having to cut pieces out to size. But also, that's how it looks from one side, But then if you flip it, you can use them the other side and get an equally beautiful fit. What, 2 left? What? If everybody checks out the basket, only 2 left of these. When it's gone, that's it, it's not coming back. We will replace it with some other beautiful stock. Another stock warning. Producer Paul, what are you doing to me? Pointy petal large. Pointy petal large. Please check out your baskets for your pointy petal large. Oh, you see, look, you see this is a different shaped flower altogether. Pointy petal large. That's your pointy petal large. Oh, I like that one. Oh, I do like that one. Nice. How many of these? If everybody checks out. 3. When they're gone, they're gone. They will not be back. $6.95. Pop it in your basket. If you've always wanted one, grab it now. Also, if you went crazy this morning at 8 o'clock with the under £10 hour, you know, maybe you want to make the most of that P&P, then do it. $2.95 is your P&P per day. Per day. Let's have a look at the Japanese fabric flowers, because lots of you buying it, but I think also buying it in conjunction with these, because I want to show you in here, if you have bought any of the flower makers today, then if you get this book, it will take you step by step through, give you different ideas, how to use them, what sort of effect you're going to get from your flower makers. It will also teach you techniques where you don't need the flower makers, but it gives you both options. That's what I really like about this one. And then you've got beautiful shot. That's the one. That's my favourite in this book. Isn't that stunning? I don't know where I'd have it. I might just have it as a centerpiece in my on my table. Isn't that just beautiful? Love it. But I like how they've just made your blossom in a jar. What's that called? What sort of jar is that called? Is it a cloche? Producer Paul says it looks like a cloche. That's a clutch. Gone from cloche to clutch. That's not easy to say. I won't say that again. Earrings as well. All sorts of things you can do with a flower. Jazz up a neckline. Nice. Makes it different from a brooch. You can do that as well. Or maybe you just want to make something a bit pretty. Great to do with the grandkids, entertain them. And again, especially if you're using the flower makers, it's going to be perfect every time. The other book shows you bunting and things like that. Gorgeous. Japanese art, Kanzashi, the Japanese art. Oh yeah, look at that. All graduated with your flower, with your colours. It's pretty, isn't it? Really pretty. Just stunning designs. Of course, originally, oh look at that, simple dress. All zhuzhed up and beautiful. Oh, yes, you can do your tables. Nice. Sorry, Producer Paul, you were saying? Pom-pom maker, yes. The most popular is the large double big one, this one. 65 and 85 mil in there. So, if you're making your pom-poms, then this gives you that regulatory size. Does that make sense? Okay, open them out like this. Get your yarn, wind it all the way around here. Close it down. Open the other side. Wind, 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 wind. Shut it down. Okay, then you've got a groove that goes all the way through. Even through here, you've got a gap. So this is where you get your nice pointy scissors and you get in. Make sure you've got sharp scissors. That's why I recommend these ones. And then you cut your way through. You go through the gap there. Let's see. It's going through there. Cut, 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 all the way around. And then you put your thread that's going to hold it all together. And it's just all going to go in nicely. And then you can pull it there. And then you pull your pom-pom out. And that's how you do it. Full instructions, because this does then come apart like that. So you then, and that's how you get your pom-pom out. It's really easy to do. Bing. I haven't broken it. Don't worry. It's meant to do that. There you go, £7.95 for those two. So the scissors that I would recommend, and I did go online this morning to find my perfect scissors for this, are these. I would highly recommend these scissors to everyone. Everyone should have a pair of these because nice, easy grip. So you've got that soft grip on there, but this is so sharp. I've managed to unpick stuff with these scissors before now. They are that sharp and that pointy. But if you're using them for little thread picks, then you can. The beauty of these is that they are spring-loaded, so the effort is only in closing them, and then they spring open. Also, if you have, you know, I've got a lump on my thumb there from where I fell off a horse, so sometimes little scissors, not only are they a little bit fiddly to put on, but actually they hurt a little bit. So for me, this is great because I don't have to try and ram my thumb into a small pair of snips. I just have it in my hand like that. So actually, it kind of speeds things up a bit because I'm not having to, you know. So if you've got, you know, limited hand strength, they're great for that. If you've got sort of knobbly knuckles, also great for that. So £13.95. If you suffer from hand fatigue, perfect. But they're just all-round brilliant scissors. It's Fiskars. They have such a sharp blade on them. But also, if you're doing things like your pom-poms, you want a really sharp pair of scissors that are also narrow to get through that gap. So £13.95. These are absolutely perfect. And you're going to find yourself using these in lots of different places. £13.95. VFGQ64. Oh, the Kansashi bloom. All of these flowers over here, I've made using these books. Well, and fabric, obviously. It was just on the side. I grabbed it just as we came to air. So whatever you're doing with them, and you can, of course, you can mix with your plain fabrics, and it's great for your leftovers. Maybe you want to make yourself a little rosette. It's up to you. But they all came, all of them. I couldn't make flowers until I got these books and had a good go through of these books. So I can talk with confidence because I've done it, I've given it a go. Now, the difference with this book is, if you just look on the back here, can you see you can make butterflies with these as well? Yeah, oh yeah. Isn't that pretty? What a lovely way to decorate your button box. Or just to do it for a gift. You could do a flower and a butterfly on it in fabric. I have a friend that wraps her gifts at Christmas in fabric. She wraps them in fabric and it's just gorgeous. I love this idea. You know, after Christmas, I know we're not quite at Christmas. Well, I mean, we are in the studio. But when you take your decorations down, it always feels a little bit bare, doesn't it? And it's a bit sad. And you've actually got to clean and dust. Make your own little bunting that you can keep up all years round. It's lovely. All sorts of different ideas. Maybe you want to put it on your skirt. I did out of this. I did hairbands, I did flip-flops, I did earrings. I got a bit carried away. I didn't do the ring. There we go. So projects to wear. So it's all in different sections. Materials, techniques. It's perfect. Kansashi and Bloom. This is £14.95. Beautifully shot. And you've got... Oh, what else have you got in here? Oh, wow. Hey, maybe you've got that little black dress and you want to just... That's a bit elegant, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe you just want to zhuzh up an old... Oh, look, there's the dragonfly. So this is a nice mix. If you do a little bit with beading and things like that... Isn't that pretty? Or just try this. Or just try that. There you go. How about that for gift wrapping? Yay! So £14.95 for that. Now, still opportunity for the pellets, but get in there quick because these, oh gosh, these sold out so fast. They've only just come back into stock. They sold out literally minutes when we first brought them to air. So luckily we've bought a lot more for you. Very, very, very satisfying. Yeah. It sort of sounds like the sea when you do that, with the waves crashing. £6.95 there for your heavy grey plastic pellets, a kilo thereof. Door stops. tablet stands, things like that, absolutely perfect. It means you can wash it too. If you filled your doorstopper with rice, let's face it, a doorstopper is obviously on the floor. You're not going to be able to wash it. You can if you put your plastic pellets in. And I've spent time making beautiful doorstoppers and filled them with rice. Stupid, didn't think it through. Then my Great Dane Eric got hold of it. It's got slobber on. It needs a wash. What do? Should have done it with these. So $6.95 KAPI 45. Got a little message. Linda in Cheshire. Hello, says, hi Tash. I have bad rheumatoid arthritis. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's horrible. And those scissors are brilliant. Oh, well, that's good. I love them, says Lynn. Yeah, you see, I mean, I can't make claims about anything like that, but if Linda says, that's all right to say, Linda says she has rheumatoid arthritis and these are an absolute perfect. We like to get your recommendations because then it's not just us saying they're great, it's you saying it's great too. We did look at them and think, why? And actually I remember having a guest who insisted on these and I said, why? And she said, because it's so much quicker not having to put your fingers into little holes that you normally get with your little snips. So for her, it was about time saving and just ease of use. For Linda, it's about the fact that she's got rheumatoid arthritis, so this makes it easier for her. So $13.95, fab. Oh, Brennan's back. Next hour, Brennan's back. And she's bringing us a nice pair. Yes. There it is. Nice pairs. Well, it's the time of year, isn't it, for a lovely pair. So there it is. Yeah, I'm afraid it is going to be pair-pantastic next hour. So please stay with us when we're going to be bringing you something, abundant. Like, stay there, pair. See you in a second.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
When you spend £10 on your first purchase, you will receive this free sewing kit from the Sewing Quarter worth £14.99.
So we're going to show you how to do a back stitch. Now a back stitch is a great one to use when you haven't got a sewing machine available, but you need to repair or fix a garment. And the back stitch is a really strong stitch to do that with. First of all, you need to start with the wrong side of the fabric first. So I'm just going to place my needle through to bring it through to the front. And then you're going to go backwards. So I'm going to do quite big stitches here so you can see what I'm doing. So that's the first stitch. Now this time you're going to come and bring your needle through, but the same distance as your stitch. And then you're going to go into the first hole that you came out and then go back through to the back. And then I'm going to come all the way over again, the same distance, and then through again, and just keep repeating that process. So this is my final stitch now. So as you can see, there's my row of back stitches, and if I just turn that over for a second, you can see that it's almost as if it's double stitched on the back. So you can see it's a really secure stitch to do when you haven't got a sewing machine to hand.
Join us on Friday the 29th of September when Angie Atwood will be demonstrating some of the amazing features of Thread's printable fabric. The Threads range lets you print any image onto fabric, offering up endless possibilities for customization. Design your own fabric, create custom embellishments for applique, or make decorative textile art with this very versatile fabric collection. Over 2 hours, Angie will inspire us with some new ideas, including some unique handmade lampshades, while offering up some handy sewing secrets along the way. So tune in on Friday the 29th of September, 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. and find out what you can achieve with Threads. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
So the challenge is this hour, not to laugh too much, and when we say that Lucy's brought us a lovely pear, that's what we've got coming up this hour. But just to let you know that we've got an Elna 240AX sewing machine competition. So text to win, text sew to 66777. It's happening all this week. T's and C's all on the website. Check that out for full details there. It's not difficult to do. It's just sending a little text, isn't it? Now, the applique book is where we found the wonderful pears. It's abundant with all sorts of goodies in here to just decorate and make everything beautiful. So, in it, here we are, a year of applique. Oh, yeah. So, lots of different designs, styles. Have we seen this before? We haven't. It's been on, not with you or me though, has it, Producer Paul? June? Gosh, that's a while since we've had this to wear, isn't it? But step-by-step ideas, step-by-step instructions. And then, in the back, yeah, this is what you want to see if you're appliquing, isn't it? Grab yourself your freezer paper. Oh, hang on. Grab yourself your freezer paper, trace that, and then off you go. All of that, look, there's your pear, nice pears there, and off they go. There it is, Pearalicious. Right, $17.95 for that. Now, got a bit of fabric to go through here, ladies and gents, so bear with me. I'm going to go through this very, very quickly and one by one. They all work beautifully together. They will then be on the website for you to choose which ones you want. So let's start off. Bright yellow. Well, yellow. There we go. $3.25. There we go. That's your yellow. Now, pears. Yes, yes, yes. Let me show you this pear. It all sounds wrong, doesn't it? $7.95 per half a metre for your beautiful pears. Hey, look, but then maybe you want to mix it in with your triangles. So your triangles are, you know, working beautifully with your pears. Lucy, stop giggling. I can see this already. It's going to be a fun old hour. Now, here we go. Oh, I like this. Crosshatch. I don't know what that's going to do on your screen. Is that all right? Ooh, nice. John would like a shirt out of that. I could see John in a shirt of that. Be a bit quieter for John, wouldn't it? But, you know, maybe on his day off. When he came down to the Great British Showing Bee, he was just in just a blue check. And lots of people just didn't recognise him. I mean, he may just as well have worn a moustache and dark glasses, because it just wasn't John with a normal shirt on. Unrecognisable. That's your cross-hatching green. Hey, look at these pears. Check out the pears. I love it. What a fun fabric. Isn't that great fun? Yeah. This, you'll see on the cushion that Lucy's made. How do we say that? I can't say it. Pears from the handpick range. I can't say it. I know it's the colour, but it doesn't matter what it is. I still can't say it. Now this is dandelions in chartreuse. Why can't I say that all together? Chartreuse. Anyway, look, you can see that it's, hang on, can we, look. In here, you've got that echoed in there, because they all go together. Right. And then we've got it in blue. Thank goodness. I know Lucy's waiting. We'll get there in a minute. There we go. That's your blue. Oh my gosh, we've got loads of fabrics. Right, okay, I need to whiz this one up a bit then, don't I? Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, now, hang on. Now, oh, this is tulip pink, isn't it? Love, 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 love. Look at the birds. Oh, this is a bit special, this is. But actually, that goes with the the other one. I can't say it. So, yeah, this is the first time with me on air. Paul, has this been on before, Producer Paul? It has, but not with us. Not with us. Hey, if you want a plane to just bring that colour out, this is a sherbet. You see, that's easier to say. Why don't they just call the other sherbet? Been much easier. Because it's I can't say it. Now, this is another new Amy Butler. Well, Tudor Pink rather. Only been on once. Look at this. Have I got that the way around? Mini out. Where are the mini out? Oh, there they are. Gosh, you've got it. It's not that mini, and you've got to squint to see it as an owl. Otherwise, it's just a lovely pattern. Here we go. We've also got a lovely blue azure. We all love a bit of azure. That will be £3.25 per half a metre with your azure. I'm going to move the Christmas tree off the stand. Get out my way, Christmas tree. Right, move along the bus, please. Yeah, all these Tudor pinks going so nicely together. Is there did I just spot a bit Lucy, this could be the one for you. It's got a bee in it. Yeah, Lucy does love her bee. Can you see the bee? Oh, there's heads in the flowers. Whoa. Wow. But then what's the little bee going to go and do? Wow. Oh, that's one of those fabrics, the more you look, the more you see. You're linear. Face it, they're all looking at you. £4.95 per half metre here with this one. We've picked this one to go with that one, if that makes sense. This one to go with that one. That's your green linen. But then maybe you want, look, you see, you could, oh yeah, look at that one with it all. This one's brand new, isn't it? Citrus. Working a treat with all three, actually. That's lovely. Actually, look. Whoa. Hang on a minute. If you're having to pick fabrics together, look at those. That's nice. So this is there. I think that works beautifully as a combination. That's brand new. Nice. Very nice. See, we're getting new fabrics in all the time. Oh, I've got another crosshatch. God, we've got a lot of fabrics today, haven't we? This is fabulous. Crosshatch here. What colour are we calling this one? Oh, red. I can go with that. Even I can say that. Fabulous. More pears. So we had green pears earlier. Now let's have some other pears. Nice. All of these, you can mix and match all of these colours. They're going to work. They're going to work a treat. Here are your pears in pink. Pink on a yellow background. Pink and yellow I like. Pink and green I like as well. That works a treat. £7.95 per half a metre. All these by half metres. These are all... Lucy is with us, by the way. We will get there in a minute. We've just got a lot to show you. That's all right. We wanted to give you the opportunity to get everything that you wanted first, and they're all on the website, and then you can just shop to your heart's content. All of these are 100% cotton. All of these you are able to wash, and all of these as well you can buy by the half metre, so you can buy as much of it as you wish. That's your green triangles. No. Oh, not chartreuse again. Oh, I said it. Oh, there we go. Pink triangles next. It's the small wins in life, isn't it, when you can say anyway. I don't know what it is, I can't say it. It's difficult. Oh, red. Look at this. I like that. Yay. But you know what? There's something special, isn't there, about a kind of dandelion thing. Dandelions in red, but look at that with that. Whoa, I like those together. It kind of gives a retro feel. Yeah. I do like that. Yeah. So pick your different colourways and go with whatever you fancy. And then if you want just a plain to go with that, we've got your aqua there. Ta-da! There, that's everything. Gosh, that's aqua, and this is what we're making this hour. Pears, 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 pears. It's all about the pears. Pearalicious.
Pearalicious.
Lucy Brennan.
I know.
What a fine pear. You bring us.
I do. Roll up lots of pears. Yeah.
Perfect pears.
Yes.
And how are we going to make these said perfect pears?
It's a lot of fun. Very simple. It is really, really simple to make. Obviously, you could make it more complicated if you want to. There are different methods of applique. I'm going to do a little bit on machine and a little bit by hand today, just to show you the different ways. It has got a guide at the beginning, so it goes through everything. Maybe it's not at the beginning, maybe it's at the end.
Somewhere in there, there's a guide. Which is perfect.
It goes through all the different techniques that you need to use and how to go. There you go, it's at the end. Sorry. So you just go, it's got general instructions for everything, really. So it goes through all your cutting, piecing, and then it's got hand applique, needle turn applique, which is doing it by hand, fusible applique, blanket stitch. And she's, sorry, can I just point out?
Yeah.
She's got really good tips. The thing that's often quite tricky for people about blanket stitch is where to turn and where to stop and start to not get your lines crossing over. So she's got really good tips in there about how to get neat blanket stitch when you're doing it by machine or by hand.
Perfect. I've never seen it before.
So it's really, really handy. And Pat Sloan is, you know, a big authority in the quilting world. She does a wonderful podcast. She's done several books.
She's full of top tips.
She's full of top tips. It's all brilliant. Yeah.
So basically...
Don't lose my leaf.
Oh, sorry. That'd be a disaster, wouldn't it? But you get all of your different appliques in there. So the beginning of it kind of gives you... Well, you get the instructions for each one. This is what you're making. This is how you do it. So it's all step by step, beautifully laid out. That's what you're making. They're really pretty, aren't they?
They're really pretty. So I'm not sure if it's 1 or 2 quilt patterns you get in the book. So using the different applique blocks to put them together to make the quilts.
Look at that.
Yeah, so that's version 2, so I'm thinking there must be a version 1 as well.
Well, it builds upon.
Yes, it does. But then what's lovely about it is then you've got those templates. So say you really like this, the heart flower motif, you can put that on a cushion, or you could put something on a bag, or...
But she's built it up to be one great big quilt with all of these things. And this is it. It takes you throughout the seasons, doesn't it? Because you've even got Mr. Snowman up there.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's a really, really nice idea.
Freddie goes to forest school just on a Tuesday. And last week he insisted on going with his gloves on because he said it was going to snow.
Oh,
it didn't. It's about 19 degrees, but it
wouldn't be surprising if it did, wouldn't it? That's lovely.
Right.
Okay, so we're doing pears.
Yes.
So there is, you can, mix and match your fabrics. You can make different combinations. I think it's quite nice to have some with more of a subtle print or, a plain colour, and then have some that are more vibrant.
I was going to say, you haven't gone for the subtle, have you? You've gone for the
subtle. But if there's too many with a focal print, it becomes a bit busy. So you want like a blender print like those.
The crosshatch. I love the crosshatch, and you can just see there how beautifully it works, especially with the dandelion there, and then your pears. Oh, it's all lovely.
It's a real crosshatch is a lovely blend. People think blender prints like spots, stripes, things like that, but the crosshatch is really, really nice and a bit more modern.
A bit like the linear, but a stronger version of the linear, isn't it, that we've got? But I'm mesmerised by this.
I know, they're beautiful. Tula's prints are beautiful.
A very soft aqua background there, and then that gentle pink, and then that glorious green.
I know, lovely. And the bears on the selvage. Do like a selvage, I do. So I'm going to show you how to cut out the pears. So in the book you've got all the templates, like you said. So you just need to trace the shape onto some bond web. So that's straightforward. And then you're going to iron it on. So I've already done some already, so just like on the plain fabric. But then if you've got a print like this, it's worth moving it around to find where you're going to get the best fussy cut, because you don't want to sort of do that and decapitate a bird and just have a tail on your pear. That would be awful.
Disastrous.
So you just want to move it round so that you're going to get whichever section you want to
you get the best pear.
Focus on, and you can get the best pear. And then it will depend how you're going to layer them up, because they sort of stack on top of each other.
Oh, okay, right.
So where you're going to put them, but you don't have to do it. I did it very similar to how she'd done it in the book, but you can, obviously you can play around and move them around, but a bit of thought about which ones you want at the front and which ones you want at the back. Because if we have the bird there in the bottom of the pear, we don't want to then
slap something on top.
Put something over the top and cover it up. So I'm going to
Should
move this over, and I'm just going to iron this on.
Gorgeous fabrics there. I mean, I know it took a little while, and I know we've got a lot of fabrics there for you, but wow, they all work together, don't they?
They do beautifully.
Really
I
gorgeous.
really like those pears. I think this would be a lovely cushion to have, like if you have a, you know, a little nook in your kitchen or something, you know, a bench in your kitchen or something like that to brighten it up would be beautiful.
Or even, you know, in your hallway, a lot of people have, what do they call them, monks' benches?
Yes.
Where you can keep your wellies and stuff inside, and they've got like the hooks.
So I always like to, I should really have trimmed that bondweb down because I didn't need that extra bit, but I always cut all the way around the bondweb when I cut it out of my fabric, because there's nothing worse than going to your stash and finding a little bit of fabric and thinking, oh, that's perfect for this project, and you've stuck bondweb on it, and then you can't use it. So that's why you want to trim roughly around the shape before you cut it out.
Bondweb, it's, excuse me, an applique's dream.
It is, yeah.
And unless you know, you could, we had on the first hour various temporary glues and things that you can use instead, but if you want to permanently fix and then you can get sewing for your applique, your Bondweb is it's just $2.95. Even producer Paul has used Bondweb for his applique. And when we had to do the block challenge. Yeah,
yeah, and it gives a firmness to your fabric as well. So when you are stitching around it, it's easier than if you've just got.
So it's almost like it's stabilised it.
Yes, exactly what it is.
Hang on, just look at this fabric. The tulip pink fabrics. Oh,
they are gorgeous.
I think sometimes she's just underestimated. Should really have been a partridge.
I know, it doesn't really... Oh,
Christmas, partridge in a pear tree.
Yes.
But it's not.
That would be lovely.
Not even if you squint.
No, not if you squint. No. So the next thing to do is just lay out your pears. So I'll just move this out of the way, sorry.
Our website now has all of those fabrics on. I realise that we brought you a lot. Poor Amy's trying to fold them all up again.
Oh, bless
her.
her.
They are all in order. Soz, Amy. So here they all are. They're all on the website now. Anything that you're after, it's all there. Yeah, we did go through a lot, didn't we? But the colours work beautifully. If there's anything that you want to look at in more detail, do please message. Ooh, there they are. Producer Paul having a bit of fun with that. Hey.
What do you think of that? Like that? I don't know whether to play with it.
No, I think we should play.
I don't know whether I move that one.
Yeah.
And have it like that.
Yes.
So that's the focus. There.
Oh, but you see the tulip pinks, they work well together.
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's the face.
Did you see the face? I didn't initially, if I'm honest, I didn't really see it. I knew she's had the bee and this shape here in other collections, so that's been in a different print.
It's a nice tie-in,
and then
isn't
it is a really nice tie-in. And then these flowers. And I didn't see it first, and then I saw it, and then I thought, oh, that's really creepy, I don't think I like it. And then it just grew on me.
You loved it,
I love it. Now I really love it.
Do you know, Producer Paul said exactly the same thing. Yes. When we brought it to her, he's like, oh, I don't know about that. But now, actually...
They're not scary faces, they're pretty faces. Yeah. And it makes me think of Alice in Wonderland when the flowers sing.
Yes, yes!
It made me think about that, which I love. That's one of my favourite scenes in a film. So it makes me happy now. So I look at it and smile.
Wants that fussy cut and put on a button. You know, when you can get the self-cover buttons.
That's a great idea.
He's getting into it now, isn't he?
That, yeah. Like that one would look really pretty, wouldn't it? So I've peeled off the paper of all of these ones. I'm just going to peel this one off, and you can...
See, I always have to get a pin and scratch
it. Yeah, you should really, but I'm really stubborn. when it comes to peeling off. I don't know what it is. I just think, no, I've got to do it like that. So yeah, I don't know why. It's just one of those funny things. So once you're happy with a design, you need to take away the top ones,
right,
to make sure that the bottom pairs are properly fused, and then you can lay it up. I mean, you probably can do them all at the same time, but this was how I learned to do it, and I think you just want to make sure that they're really secure.
If you have a Teflon ironing sheet,
yes, that's a good idea.
Use that.
So
we haven't right now.
No,
you don't do as we say, not as we do.
Yes,
right now.
not as we do. So you can, at this point, stitch these ones down and then keep building and layering. But I don't like having, especially if you're doing a decorative stitch with like a thicker thread or something, or if you're doing it by hand, you don't want that bumpy thread underneath the other ones. So I do them all at the same time.
It's having in mind what the final design is going to be.
Yes.
You've got your Teflon press sheet on the screen for you, $15.95. It just means that you don't have to gunk up your iron. But if you have gunked up your iron, get the iron cleaner from the first hour.
Yeah.
We've got everything sorted. Preferably don't do it in the first place, but, you know, we're all human. And if you do, get the iron cleaner. It does make a big difference, doesn't it, having a clean iron?
Oh, it does, makes a massive difference. I didn't point it out when I was on, but I did make a mark. I think I was spraying the water or something, or I pressed the steam button instead of the water button when I was pressing it, and so all the steam came out and it just gunked up, and so it stained the quilt, so you do need to be really careful.
Oh no, I've got that.
Okay.
I don't know if you
Thank
need
you.
it.
Yes, I'm going to put that on.
We
and then I also
the stems. Do you want those as well?
I need the little stems. I haven't peeled. Have I? No. I haven't peeled the paper off, so we can just have a bit of fun peeling off the paper. It's actually easier on the smaller
why is that?
pieces. I don't know. I do not know.
Come on, Lucy, I want the science behind it.
And I have to say, now I know this is really funny, but the different ways in which you position your stem stalks can make a difference. Do you know what I mean? It changes it depending on which way they're facing. Is that odd?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tulip pink looks amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, what would we have to do to make it a prickly pear? What's the difference between a prickly pear and a pawpaw? Are they the same?
I don't even know what prickly pear is.
Baloo would know.
I need to learn, don't I, about my fruit. There we go.
Nice.
So then
very nice. Just
press those in place. So I do all of it at the same time and then just go round. But it's up to you. You can do it in layers or just go for it.
It's the simplicity of the design.
Yes.
Do you like pears?
There's more. It actually, not massively, if I'm honest.
Oh, I do.
I like them in things.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to just eat a pear. I'd rather have like an apple.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
Fair enough.
But you could take this design and make any sort of fruit arrangement you wanted to.
Hey, look, it could be a full-on harvest festival.
Yeah, you could do all different things. And there are some different fruits. There's definitely a couple of things that I remember seeing in there. I don't remember what they are now, so I don't want to say. So the other option now would be to do it like a quilt-as-you-go style. So you could build up your quilt sandwich. So I've got like the wadding and the backing already.
Yeah.
And then what I would do is put this on and position this centrally.
Right.
And then go ahead and stitch it down. So I would be quilting it while I'm appliquing it. And then with the borders, I would do it like a quilt as you go, stitch my seam along there and press it back.
Nice.
So then I'm doing a quilt as you go
doesn't that look
effect.
lovely against the white?
So it does. So if you were wanting to speed it up even more, you could do it that way round and quilt it as you're appliquing it. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just applique it. So I'll move that out the way.
Options. So far with this, I've seen that you can really be the designer. You know,
yes, absolutely.
Which fabrics, how you place them, even down to the stalks.
Yeah, and I would only do the quilt as you go method if you're going to do it on machine. You don't want to be hand appliquing because you'll pull a lot of the wadding up, and it's a bit tricky with the embroidery thread to do it that way. If you had a thicker cotton, you could.
There's something about an odd number, isn't there, that's very satisfying to the eye.
Well, they say that, don't they? You're meant to put things in groups of 3s or 5s.
I made the mistake of putting 4 candles on the mantelpiece. My husband went berserk at me. It's like, oh, all right there, Lawrence. What's going on? It's like, well, you can't have 4.
So I'll show you how I applique, because like for this one that's in the centre there and this one, I can go all the way around. Yes. Okay, so that's quite straightforward. I'll just stop and start at the stalk.
Stuck at the stalk.
But for this one, for example, we're going to have to start there, go and stop there, start there, and stop there.
Would you free motion this?
Well, you could. The other option is if you're just going to quilt it, if you put it with the wadding, you don't even need to applique it. You can just quilt all over it. Ooh. So you could, if you were doing a squiggly free motion, so long as you're catching a lot of it. But then there are going to be areas that may fray over time if they're not stitched down.
Sometimes people sort of go around like 3 times with a free motion.
Oh yes, like a raw edge. Nice. Yes, you could do that. Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, yeah. You just
you could almost
go around.
Do your what's the one? The blanket.
That's what I'm going to do.
Around there, and then you could almost do. So you
do them all differently. Yeah, you could. And the thing that's nice about doing it with free motion is, if you go around once, it looks a bit unintentional. If you go around twice, it kind of looks messy. If you go around 3 times, it looks like you've done it on purpose, and it's a bit sketchy.
Yes. Yes.
So that 3 is the magic number when it comes to something like that, and that does give a really nice effect. So I'm going to do a blanket stitch.
Okay.
And
so you can really play. Would you? Do you need to do anything like stabilise your base fabric?
No. I think it depends on your design. If it's I always test my stitches first on a scrap piece of fabric. So I'll have a little piece of fabric. I may fold it in half because generally if you're appliquing, you're sewn through 2.
Yeah.
So fold it in half and then just test out my stitch. So I have all these random bits of fabric with all these different stitches on them, and I'll write on when I know which one it is I want to use to make a note of what it was. And if you keep like a scrapbook, a sewing book of all your things, like with swatches of fabric and things, you can put that in there then, which is nice. Yeah, I don't have time for such things. I would love to, but I just don't. I'd like it, but I do have a notebook, so I'll make notes in there.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Yeah, so which stitch? Yeah, so because you want to check the size as well. You want to check that the size is right for your project. You might find a stitch that you really like but need to adjust the size. And then some stitches sort of pull the fabric in too much.
Yeah.
So if it's very close together, or if it's sometimes you can change it with the stitch length, but sometimes you can't.
Some decorative ones that have got flowers in, and that really puckers the fabric in.
Yes.
So, and I've made that mistake before now of not stabilising the base fabric, and I should have done.
Yeah.
But if we're going with a plain blanket stitch, should be okay.
We're fine, yeah. It's just, and because you've got the bond web in there as well, that's giving you some stability. And because that's the only area that we're sewing on, I mean, slightly around the edge, but it's not too much. But yes, I would definitely practice and test it out before you begin.
This has all come out of the applique book by Pat Sloan, 17.95. Here it is. You've got all of your templates. Hey, do you know what? Just look at the one on the back. Isn't that stunning? That's for all years, appliques throughout the year. I wonder if there are actually 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so there you go.
I could have told you. Yes, there was, but I just enjoyed you counting.
Counting, yes. I will do that. Count live on it. It's better than my pirate song.
Yeah. But that's lovely. And with the templates as well, it's all labelled as to which month it is.
Oh, perfect.
So that's really handy as well. So you can find them
But
easily.
then, you see, look, as we've hit Christmas here, look, that's brilliant. I like that. Snow day. Great book. Really lovely book. Lots of ideas. This is what we're doing. Pearalicious. Beautiful. Great, Pear. Let's get going.
Okay, so I've set this to, I think there are about 4 blanket stitches on this machine, so I've chosen the one that I particularly like, and it has an applique foot. So some machines will, some won't. You can use your regular foot when you're doing applique. But what I like about this one and this stitch is it moves the needle over to the right, and it has a little gap in the foot, so that I can align the edge of the fabric with the little gap that's in the foot. So it makes it really easy to follow it.
Nice.
So it is worth, you know, when you're having that play, you can even draw a line on your fabric and try and follow the line as you're doing it. So you know where you're having to look, where your eye needs to be when you're doing the applique. That's what's going to keep it really neat.
You can just see the edge of the red there with our camera.
Yeah. So, this machine also very handily has a locking stitch, so I don't need to go backwards and forwards. It's going to do 3 little stitches in one place, which will hold it. But that's why, if I'm doing a blanket stitch or something like that, and it's doing that locking stitch, it's nicer to do it on the fabric and then layer it up, rather than doing it through all the... Although if it's a cushion, it doesn't really matter, because it'll be hidden anyway. So lots of options.
But you know, we did the ripple quilt in your first hour. You could always put sort of three pairs in the middle.
Oh yes, you could, yeah.
Couldn't you?
Yeah, or you use any of the applique patterns, couldn't you?
So nice and, oh, look how delicate that is.
So then you want to turn as as you're approaching the corner, and then this one will do one more stitch, and then it'll lock.
It's a clever machine, this, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's another reason why I do a practice piece, is because you need to know where your machine is going to end.
Right.
Or, you know, if you have to stop yourself. Because if it's automatic and you've got a locking stitch like that, it will usually do one more stitch and then lock on this particular machine.
Right.
Some it might be you press it and then it does it straight away. But so you need to know how you're going to finish and where you're going to finish.
It's a nice way to learn your machine, actually.
Yeah, it is, absolutely. And then as you're going along, you can see the distance between the stitches, so you know how far it's going to be that you have to
Lucy,
end.
is there a reason that you started mid-pair? And not sort of so...
Oh, because I'm doing the wrong one. I thought I was doing that one.
Oh, OK.
No. But you can... You need to think about how you're going to finish as well. So on somewhere where you're doing the whole pair, you can start there and finish there, but you might want to carry on.
And go
up. I could go over and go over like that. So that wasn't what I was intending to do, but I could.
Well, you could if you wished. Yeah. I'm going to leave you to do that.
OK.
Just slow and steady wins the race on this,
yeah, you can turn... If you've got a speed control on your machine, you can turn that down as well. But as you're going round the curves, there's nothing worse than getting a stitch and it not being in the right place.
Especially if you've used a bright contrast thread.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Which I think works really nicely, actually. You can play about with threads when you're doing stitches like this, because I think a contrast works really well.
Beautiful. I'm going to go show you fabrics because we've got a lot. And I do mean... Are we just going to go through the most popular ones? They're all on the website. Which ones do you want to have a look at? The face one. It's all about the face. Here it is. Look at Amy. She's come and done her housekeeping, hasn't she? And tidied up for me. Yeah, very popular. Tula Pink. This is £6.95 per half a metre. First time to wear with me. Look at that. At first it might freak you out. It did all of us, but now we all love it. We all love it. It's one of those ones, it's a grower. Definitely one that grows on you. £6.95 there. That's your sun-kissed petal heads. Yeah. Birds, 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 birds. This is the other one that we're using today. Love these birds. And again, if you're using these, then you can use them together. You know, you've got those colours that you could... Yeah. So this is your birds. And actually, it's non-directional. They are flying around all over the place. That's your Starlit Retweet fabric. Who knew? Which one? All the pair. This one in chartreuse. can't I say that? Anyway, pears on yellow. We'll go with that. Here they are. And actually, if you are buying any of the other fabrics, you'll see echoed in here that you've got, there's your dandelion. So if you've picked up the dandelion, you've got that pattern etched in here. If you've gone for the crosshatch, you've got your crosshatch echoed in here. All these colours we've got for you on the show today. We've got the pinks, we've got the blues. We've even got a red in there as well. So all of those in there, $7.95. These are hand-picked range, PSRW84. All of these are on the website. And of course, what we've also done on there is given you contrast fabrics in just plains, so that if you wanted to break that up. For example, we've got, let's show you our new one just very, very quickly. This is our citrus. We haven't had this very much. Brand new. So you just see, you could then use those two. You could then use those two heavily patterned patterns. It's a really bad sentence, isn't it? But then you can break it up with that colour going through. I think that works an absolute treat. Nice. Any fabric that you want, all available on the website. Here it is. Oh yeah, that's underneath where we're live on air. Live, there they all are. It's like a great big shopping list. So you don't have to worry about the codes. Our codes are randomly generated. Don't ever think you're going to make sense of the codes. It's just random.
Totally random.
Yeah. Oh, hello.
So I've just started having a play and doing a blanket stitch by hand. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to do actually is I'll just stop and start that again so you can see how I started. So I'll start over here.
Okay.
Just be a practice.
Do you knot first? To knot or not to knot?
Yes, I do.
You're a knotter.
I like security in everything I do. So I just like knowing that it's secure. I mean, it depends what I'm doing it on. If it was something like it was a decorative hoop or something, I might just leave a tail and just bury it. You know, as I'm sewing, just sew over it. But with something like a cushion that's probably going to get a lot of wear, you're probably going to wash it, I would not. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got 3 kids. Things need washing, don't they?
Yeah.
To be honest.
Things need knotting and washing.
Knotting and washing.
Yeah.
This is what we're making, by the way. The cushion there. Beautiful. It's all about the pears.
It is.
Well, it is that time of year, isn't it? We've got pears.
In your garden, you grow. How lovely. That's nice.
And the birds have got them first.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's nice.
Pesky birds.
So yes,
look, it's trying to eat
getting the pears.
It's trying to eat the pears.
Yeah, he is.
So I'm going to do
straight in there
a blanket stitch by hand, and I have to say this is. I have a lot of favourite embroidery stitches, but this is definitely up there. This is one of my favourite embroidery stitches to do. Yes.
Okay, go on then.
Any given opportunity, I will hand blanket stitch.
Whack out a blanket stitch.
Yeah, it's my favourite. So I'm doing it this way. Sometimes I do it both. Sometimes I go left to right, and sometimes I go right to left. It just varies.
Seems safe.
So I have knotted it. Well, I did there on the back. So you've just come up in the place that you want to start, and we're going to call that A along the edge. Okay. And then we're going to make our first stitch that's actually going to be like the blanket stitch, you know, that's going onto the fabric. So it's the same as like a machine stitch. So that will be B. And then the distance that I set this at is going to be, you know, the width that I continue it at. That was awful English as well, but hopefully you'll see what I mean. I have been known to get
a marker pen out and mark my nail.
Have you? Yeah,
to
you
measure
can do
it.
that. Yeah, you can. Or you can mark dots along that if that's helpful to you.
Only because I scratched my nail doing it anyway, so I was like, well, I may as well make
that
it,
might as well be the
and it may as well be the guide.
So you can have a guide like that. So you want to keep this thread out of the way, and then you're going to make your first stitch, maybe not that big, and come out directly below. Okay, so it's like A, you're going in at B and coming out at C. Okay, and you want to go over the top of this thread.
Yeah, because sometimes mine goes diagonal, that first stitch.
Yeah, it can do. So like that.
What have I done? I haven't caught it up there.
You haven't caught it underneath, yeah.
Okay.
So, and then...
So you use your thumb to keep this out the way?
Yeah, to keep it out of the way. So you'll have different tricks. So then this is the distance, right, between my stitches. So I want to try and replicate that, and I want to get this next stitch in line with this one. So I'm going to do it on the blue anyway, so it shows up a little bit better. Okay. And what's going to make a neat blanket stitch is that the distance between the stitches are the same, and the length of the stitches is the same.
Okay.
So it's not only that you need to keep an eye on this width, so like where you'd have a dot or a mark on your fingernail, which would be quite useful. It's also that that the length, so you're maintaining the same length and width of your stitches.
So it's just that continuity, isn't it?
So it's the continuity. So very often in my mind, I will think of something like a grain of rice or,
oh, really?
you know, something like that. So I can go, okay, that's the distance. I'm getting a bit longer now. You know, that's the distance that I want to keep that at.
Because some people are so neat with their blanket stitch. I'm so not. Which is why I had to devise the nail marking technique.
Well, and I think it's one of those things that is quick when you get going, and you will establish your own, you know, width and stitch length. It will sort of come naturally to you. It is embroidery stitches are like handwriting, and you can, you know, I mean, you can train yourself and practice, but you're going to naturally have your own.
Now, what sort of needle should I be using for this?
Just an embroidery needle.
And
anything, it depends how many strands of floss you want to use. So I've separated this, and I'm using 3 at the moment. So it's not, it's giving, you know, that sort of rustic effect, but it's not really chunky. Whereas if I was using 6, you know, it would be a thicker, chunkier look, and then maybe I would make my stitches a bit bigger.
Producer Paul wants to know if you could use Sashiko needles.
Yes, you could.
You could.
Yeah, you could. That would be good if you're using all the strands of floss as well, because it is a little bit thicker, the thread. So you just keep
That's
on.
That's lovely, isn't it? Do you want to keep doing
going
that while
like
I show the book?
Yeah.
8 delightful projects from one stunning quilt. Well done, Pat. It's one of those things, once you get going with the applique, it's lovely, but the first thing that I hear from people when they say, well, why don't you do your own? Oh, I can't draw. Oh, I can't draw. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter here because Pat's given you all of the templates. Oh, there it is, Pearlicious. In the back. Some are as you go, some are then, and then in the back. Where are they? Where have they gone? No, they are as you go, actually, aren't they? Sorry. So you've got, oh, that's for the snow. I love that one. So there's your pair. Oh, no, they're in the middle. Ah, there they are. They're in the middle. Possibly grab freezer paper as well if you wanted to hand turn or anything like that.
Freezer paper's really useful.
Then very useful. It depends what type you want to do, isn't it? Or Bonder Web if you want to do the applique that we've just done. But this has got all of those in. I knew they were somewhere together. Yeah.
And Pat really does know her stuff. There are so many tips, you know, in the book and different ways of doing things. And
some of these are more like samplers, aren't they? I mean, the final big finished one. So you can. I think what I like about this is that it's broken down into manageable projects. So if you want to just do that and have that as a cushion, then you can. But if you want to build it up so that you get the full shebang, another technical term, then you've got that. Gosh, it's busy, isn't it?
And then if you to make that quilt and do the accompanying projects, you've got like a whole collection.
Yes.
So you could have coordinating cushions and a quilt in your living. You know, have that over the back of your sofa and have matching cushions.
Frame them, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could.
And then you could have, because you know, you go into some places and they do that thing of scatter pictures up on the wall. In all different, you could sort of break it down and put it like that. It'd be lovely.
Yeah. So I'm going to start building this up.
Yeah.
So I've cut these strips. I think they're 1.5 inches, if I'm correct.
And are all the directions for this? All the directions?
Yes.
Instructions.
Instructions.
Words. Not happening, are they today?
All in there. So I'm just going to change my foot and put my 1/4 inch foot back on.
There it is. That's what we're doing. I love the different takes on this, and doesn't it feel different with different fabrics? So the pairs that that you've used on the sample, just so bright and vibrant and fabulous.
And remember to change your stitch.
Oh yeah, no, that's going to help.
Before you start sewing, do as I say, not as I do.
Oh, so all of those fabrics, we've had all of those on the show. Graphics coming in for the pairs, $7.95 per half a metre. Pick as much as you like. So if you're brand new to us, and actually a lot of you at the Great British Sewing Bee Live had never heard of us. People still haven't heard of us. So if you are watching for the first time, hello, good morning. If I met you, lovely to have met so many people. So much talent in one room, it was amazing. But if this is your first time shopping with us, then you can buy this by the half metre, and we will cut it in a continuous length. So if you put 3 in the quantity box, you'll get 1.5 metres in one great long length. That's the joy of shopping from us, is that we're not... It'll be to your specification. Now, most popular is the birds. And I'm not surprised. Look at that. Absolutely stunning.
It is beautiful. And
really lovely.
This one I'm using here has got birds in as well. It's got owls in this one.
Do you know what, though? They're not in-your-face owls.
No,
owls should not be in your face.
No,
that's bad. But they're just subtle owls. So that isn't an owl at all. That's your retweet fabric. $6.95 for that one. But now we're starting to sew with the owls.
Yeah.
Here it is. This is your owls here. Again, it's her use of colours. You feel like they should clash,
beautiful.
But they don't.
No.
They really work.
Yeah.
And that's the genius of Tulip Pink, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is
absolutely.
that closeness of colour that just works. I would never have put those colours together. But
And what she's known for as well, because, you know, this sort of hiding, and, you know, she hides a lot of the animals or, like, the faces in...
Yes.
In her prints.
Her Eden collection, she's got a wonderful one, and if you have it one way around, it's an elephant. But if you spin it round the other way, it's a peacock. It's just like, wow.
It is
genius.
really clever, really, really clever.
But I like that. I like that looking a little bit deeper into something. Here are the owls. Remember that Vic and Bob sketch? How many owls? You going to a party? How many owls? Oh, 2 owls. Count me in. No? Oh. It does. Producer Paul says it looks like a damask wallpaper, but in owls.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
it does. That's why it's so pretty, because you don't see it at first. You know,
you've got to look for it.
You've got to look for it,
yes.
But then when you see it, it's really obvious, isn't it? But
you see, I did this with Amy Butler's "It Takes Two" in bone, which was my favourite on my birthday fabric back in August. And it was we'd had it on air for a couple of hours until someone said, it's got peacocks in it. And I'd had it upside down. And I was like, oh, it looks like a lion's head. And then actually, when you spun it around, it takes 2 because it had 2 peacocks in it. So sometimes, you know, you just see different things. But if you are using something like the owls, get them the right way around.
Yes, get them the right way around. Have I? Yeah. Did
that would have been awkward, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, you know, it's one of those things. It happens. It's just a design feature, isn't it? But you can see by adding on these panels on the side how it really brings it to life. And then you can, you know, obviously, you pick your favourite fabric, and that's the one that you put there on the edges. But it just brings a whole new dimension to it. I think it's beautiful.
Again, this colour, these colours are repeated throughout. So basically, it's a show of 2 halves here. You've got the pairs and all of the pair fabrics that we've got that work with the dandelions and the chartreuse. Thanks. And the crosshatch. And then you've got the Tulip Pink side, which are all of these fabrics.
Yeah.
And they're just beautiful. I love this.
So then the next step then is layering it up.
Let's start.
So I've brought some unironed... Can we just open this up without showing anybody? I haven't pressed this, but this is just going to be the lining for the... So you want to give that a really good press and make sure it's all lovely and uncreased. And then lay your... And now this, I'm using this for backing.
So this is half a metre?
Well, I'm not sure what that... I just did that from my stash. I've cut it. It's a bit too big, so I'd trim that down, really. And then I'm just making a quilt sandwich. So this could be like muslin or a sheet. Oh,
so it doesn't have to be anything expensive
like
or your favourite?
No, just because that's going to be the lining of the cushion.
Oh, OK.
So it really doesn't matter what
whatever.
that is. Or just something that you've had for a really long time that you thought was attractive and you've never used it. I have a lot of that. So then you can just stick that on the inside of a cushion.
You're not wasting anything.
Nobody will ever see it. It doesn't matter. They don't know that you once had really bad taste in fabric.
I'm glad you said in fabric.
Yes. But also sometimes you've got leftover from another project and you're not, you know, I think when you've made a project and you've been looking at a fabric for a really long time, you can fall out of love with it a little bit. And then if you've got bits left over, you don't know what to do with them because it's
good job the same doesn't apply to husbands, is it?
It's very, yes, yes, very good. So once you've laid it, so you can base that either hand tack it or use pins or spray glue or, you know, whatever you want to do. And then for quilting, you've got lots of different options. You can do an all-over design. You could do a design just in the pear section and quilt these separately. Or you could do the quilting over the top of the pear. So I'm just going to do that to show people. Yes, why not? I'm here, might as well.
Walking foot.
So I'm going to change. I would put the walking foot on. I'm just for the sake of time just going to change it to the clear foot. But yes, if you're doing a lot of quilting, I would recommend using your walking foot. So if you're going to do something, I would use a thread that blends in with the background.
Okay.
And then the quilting will just show up on the pears. Ooh. So that would sort of give them just a little bit of texture. So you could do straight lines or, you know, an all-over design. Yeah. You could do a bit of free motion.
It's a bit like when you're on the computer and you can send text behind pictures or in front of it. It's yes. That with your quilting, isn't it? How prominent do you want it to be?
I should have pinned, but I'm just going to go for it.
It's always for time, is it always for
It's speed? Always for time, yes, but you would definitely want to base this and use your walking foot, if you've got one, really.
Okay.
Yes, that would be my advice.
I was amazed at what a difference a walking foot made.
I mean, just massive. You know, it makes it so much easier. You're not having to push or pull. You get far less puckers in your fabric as well if you use a walking foot. And the machine's not working as hard. No, not everybody has one.
And this might be the case that actually you don't have one. Maybe you're just starting out. You just want to give it a go. This is a very easy-sized project for someone that's just starting out in terms of quilting. So do you have to do one way, one the other?
No.
You just keep going.
You can, if you're doing straight lines, one way, one the other. It depends on your machine. I found with my older machine that I had, if I did one way and one the other, it created ripples on the back. Okay. And actually, rather than keeping everything straighter, it made the fabric... I don't know why it did that, but it did. And I've had people... I was teaching a class and we all just experimented with our machines and just tried it to see what it did. A lot of people's was absolutely fine doing it one way and the other. And then other people's did create those ripples. So it's worth just testing it to see what it does on your machine.
We've got a minute.
And then, and just then if you're going to do straight lines like this, you can use like the edge of your foot as a guide, or often on your feet you've got different little lines, so you can use that as a guide to go next to, you know, to do your next stitch. And then if you have a walking foot, very often they come with like a little attachment that you put on the edge of the walking foot, and that will give you a different guide again. So this is not a straight line, but it's as close as I'm going to get right now.
Let's have a look, because we are pretty much out of time with you here, because I've got to go look at all this fabric.
But then you can see the effect that gives you, and then also that it adds just a little bit more detail to the pears themselves, but disappears in with the background. So.
Hey, lovely. So 3 different ways there. Lucy, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, it's always a joy. Thank you so much. Lovely to have you on the show. When are you back?
At the weekend, Saturday.
Oh, good to be with me.
I don't know what words they were. Okay, good.
Well, go and have a look
Maybe
for some
we'll
words.
learn to talk by then. Yeah.
We can but hope. We can but hope, Lucy. Who knows? But thank you.
Thank you.
See you Saturday. Check out your baskets. Are we going all through these, Producer Paul? No, we haven't got time, apparently. Which ones? Oh, the pears. Oh, it's the pears, the most popular. Oh. Hey, everybody loves a good pear. Here we go. That's your pears. And you can get this at $7.95 today per half a metre. So, of course, you can buy more. A bit of what? It's organic. Oh, it's organic cotton. Nice. So the hand-picked selection is all organic cotton. That's why it's just a little bit dearer. But do you know what? If that's, you know, it's worth it, isn't it? It's just nice, isn't it? It just, yeah. It's ever so soft, actually, to the touch. Let's have a look at the heads. Here they are. It's not actually called heads. Or is it sunflower heads or something? Yeah, sun-kissed petal heads. It's great names. There we go, sun-kissed petal heads. Should be a band. It's the sun-kissed petal heads. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage the sun-kissed petal heads. What next, Producer Paul? What do you want to look at next? The birds. The birds, the birds. There. Do love the birds. Oh, get your owls as well. In fact, just get each of the tulip pinks and then get some of the plains and go with it. Remember, all your hand-picked is organic cotton as well. So $6.95, that's your tulip pink. Utterly stunning. Now, we've been running all day, in fact it's going on all week, our Text to Win competition. So if you fancy being in with a chance of getting your hands on the Elna 240EX sewing machine, who wouldn't want a free sewing machine? I mean, yes please. Then here's how you do so. Text SEW to 66777. You will go into a prize draw. All T's and C's on the website and over 18s only. Now, let's have a look. What's coming up tomorrow? It's our Winter Wonderland. Of course, we're entering Christmas. Stitch Kits Christmas at 8 a.m. 9 a.m. is your Christmas fabric. 10 a.m. is your Stitch Kits Mother Nature. And then 11 a.m. Haberdashery. See what they've done there? Nice. It's a good job I've got a useful name, isn't it? 1 p.m. today, make the most of it. Lots of you checking out your baskets still from 8 o'clock, where you just went bonkers for everything under £10. Make sure that you grab all the fabric that you want. If this is the first time viewing today, having met us at the Great British Sewing Bee over the weekend, well, hello, and thank you to everyone who came to say hello whilst we were there. It was really lovely to see you and to meet everybody. And I will be back first thing tomorrow morning, bright and early, with our fabulous Winter Wonderland. Have a lovely rest of the day. Remember, you can always catch up on YouTube with your sewing quarter and the date. I'll see you in the morning. Bye-bye.
On Wednesday, the 27th of September, Tilly Rose makes a welcome return to the Sewing Quarter studio. She's bringing with her a collection of wonderful stitch kits, so you can sew your own fabulous cushions at home. Stitch Kits produce a wide range of pre-printed canvases to help you make striking cross-stitch creations in no time. Tilly will showcase some of her favourites, starting with some fabulously festive Christmas-themed designs, followed by a host of images inspired by the natural world. So join us and the talented Tilly Rose for some merry makes and some home-sewn creature comforts on Wednesday, the 27th of September at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.